unplugged this week. He's been very much plugged in this week with getting ready, but I'm sure he's ready to be a little more hands-on and less virtual as he'll get back into the office starting sometime today.
So that is the
if not already, like you said. But I bet at 6:03 in the morning he's not quite plugged in yet.
That's the good news that is going on with Arkansas football. But we do have some bad news for you this morning. This is from Tom Murphy of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. I'll read you the direct excerpt from his article. 2 staff members who are not on-field coaches and at least 1 player received a positive result from coronavirus testing conducted on Sunday, the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette has learned. Now, they are set to play football this Saturday. That right now is not a concern that the games get canceled. But what is a concern with this football team is you wonder through contact tracing, through maybe another subsequent positive test that we haven't learned about, that could be a concern for who may not be able to go on Saturday against the LSU Tigers.
So it has not been positive tests for the reasons directly all of these games have been canceled in recent weeks in the SEC. We know that there is a 56 player minimum required to play these games. You got to have at least 1 quarterback, X number of linemen. I think it's 7 linemen, so many defensive linemen in order to fill a roster to play an SEC game. That's been the reason why we've seen these games postponed the last few weeks. Teams have not been able to meet the requirements to fill the roster. So that's a concern. I think Hunter Yurchek made the statement yesterday that as of yesterday, everything was good to move forward with the game, but you wonder about the contact tracing if that's going to be the reason. It's not the positives, it's the contact tracing that can put the brakes on your game for Saturday.
And it scares people when they see stuff like that because that is the one unavoidable. Like the coaches and the fans have no control over that when you see something like that, and we know how rapidly this can occur and spread like that. So hopefully it is contained. Hopefully that we don't hear about many more positive cases, but as we've learned through these COVID trials in college football, not just college football, professional sports, stuff tends to move relatively rapidly and not in the direction you want it to. But this is going to affect, I think, the football game on Saturday because, again, you don't know who can participate, who can't participate, and it might skew your opinion of what happens in the game come 11 a.m. Saturday.
And I'm not sure. We read about this recently with the Steelers, and they had a player that tested, and they put players, including Ben Roethlisberger, in quarantine. Now, he was cleared late in the week to go ahead, but I'm not sure exactly how long that is at this point. So is it? I know in our case, if we're around somebody that tests positive, I think the guidelines are if you're in quarantine without a positive, it's 14 days, like if you have a family member. But if you test positive, it's 10. So, I mean, it's kind of counterintuitive in some ways, but that's the guidelines, waiting on the incubation period and all these things as they explain it to you. But I don't think it's quite that lengthy, and they can take tests and see if they're negative and do some things. But, again, it's the contact tracing that's the concern. And I know we're talking football here. That's what makes me have a lot of reservations about the success and where we're moving with college basketball this year. Smaller roster, smaller team, 1 positive test could wipe out a great number of players on your team. At what point can you not play a game? So, this is going to be interesting to watch with basketball. Now we're seeing with football that there could be some issues this week.
Are your decisions and assumptions about the game Saturday, have they changed after you heard or read about Tom Murphy's report? 877-377-6963. Now, again, hopefully this is not one of those things where it wipes out a bunch of players, but we just don't know at this point. But this is kind of the ever-revolving world of college football where you have something like this. And I think the prime example of all this is Trevor Lawrence going out for the 2 weeks against Boston College and Notre Dame. If Notre Dame plays Clemson with Trevor Lawrence, they lose that football game, much to Zach Arne's chagrin. But he was not eligible to play. The star freshman, DJ hey, Jenkins, I need your help because I know you know how to say it. Uiagalelei?
Okay, Uiagalelei.
Uiagalelei. If
Uiagalelei
is not playing that game and Lawrence is, then the Clemson Tigers defeat Notre Dame. But because of that, and again, that's nothing that Dabo Swinney can prevent, he now finds himself with the loss, and the only way that Clemson can get back to a college football playoff is if they beat Notre Dame in the ACC championship. So this is such a different wrinkle that's been added to not only collegiate sports but professional sports that has changed the outcome of games you never would have expected to.
Yeah, and this game has no bearing on the college football playoff this weekend. But to your point, if Felipe Franks is out this weekend, you don't feel good about Arkansas's chances to win the game. So, I mean, that's to what Trevor Lawrence means to his team. Felipe Franks is equally as important to Arkansas's team.
I would argue more. Like DJ Uiagalelei, I mean, because of how talented their backup quarterback is, I think you still have a lot of questions.
With some of that.
You still have question marks about KJ Jefferson and Malik Hornsby coming in and playing an entire football game. And, I mean, they're just DJ's more talented than both KJ and Malik. And even as good as Trevor Lawrence is, I think the disparity between those two guys is different. I think with Felipe and KJ and Malik, there's far more of a gap. I don't know if it's Grand Canyon, but there's far more of a gap.
I wouldn't put my gloves way up on that. So I think you have a good point there.
No, but luckily that reportedly he has not been affected or anything, knock on wood, as far as that goes. But you need all hands on decks for Saturday, even though LSU is down in the dumps. They're trying to get geared up. Terrence Marshall, who's one of their star wide receivers, they held a players-only meeting trying to revive this team and get them going for the latter half of their football season.
How would you like $15,000 for the holidays? You can win up to $15,000 to pay rent or mortgage for the next year. It's brought to you by Nick and Ellie Gladwell, real estate agents, and by Chambers Bank. Just go to hitthatline.com and check out one of our best giveaways that we've ever done, giving you up to $15,000 to pay your rent or mortgage for a year. Hitthatline.com. Click on the button that says free rent. We're also giving away $250 to Doe's Eat Place and a $250 Walmart gift card that one local winner is going to win as well. All the rules and all the details are online at hitthatline.com. Just click on the tab for free rent, and you could win up to $15,000 from Nick and Ellie Gladwell, Chambers Bank, and hitthatline.com.
Coming up, the NBA draft is tonight. Where will Mason Jones and Isaiah Joe land? That's next.
Listen to that last segment, I promise you, it sounded like I walked into a barbershop and listened to two old men just go at it. That was great.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and GMC Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get 0 for 84 months on the hottest selling Buick model, the Buick Encore, or 0 for 84 on the Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury and third row seating. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
When you want a beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars in an atmosphere befitting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items, including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites. Dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474, or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling. Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen, or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
They hand it off Talley. That's the middle. Talley at the 40. Talley at the 30. Talley on his horse at the 20. The 10. Touchdown, Razorback.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
There's a lot of excitement tonight around the NBA draft because you got two guys that are probably going to come off the board, both Mason Jones, Isaiah Joe, Fort Smith's finest, and then a guy that's really worked his way up from going from Findlay Prep all the way to the University of Arkansas, and now many are calling the steal of the draft, including former Boston Celtic, former Oklahoma City Thunder member Kendrick Perkins. He has been on the Sixers to draft Mason all the way at 21 in the first round. We'll see what happens with him tonight. There's some rumors I want to get out. I want to label their draft projections as well. Where do you think Mason and Isaiah end up? 877-377-6963.
Hey, we are brought to you by The Fence Man. I'm amazed as I drive more and more around the River Valley in northwest Arkansas, looking at new fence construction, seeing that label or that badge that's on the fence that says The Fence Man. You know that it's quality construction. It's been well done, well designed when the Fence Man is involved in your fencing project. 479-782-3936 is the number to get a hold of Sean or anyone at the Fence Man to come give you a quick, no obligations quote. They have 18 months, same as cash financing. So if you want to put in a fence right now, but you're worried a little bit about the financing of it, don't worry about that. 18 months, same as cash financing, now available with the Fence Man. 782-3936, wood privacy fence, vinyl fencing, chain link fencing, custom wrought iron installations, even custom projects that you may have something that's unique and different in mind. They'd love a shot at it. 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man. he ain't afraid of no work.
It is important for Mason Jones and Isaiah Joe to have draft-level success tonight and success at the next level for Eric Musselman's recruiting measures, because you think about if he can point to, hey, his first two guys. Now Isaiah went from being probably going to the NBA and then really upping his ante a little bit, and then Mason going from nowhere on NBA draft radar to being potentially the steal of the draft. So I think it's important for them to show out at the next level as Eric Musselman can continue to use that as a calling card. And I've been monitoring this as best I can. Hey, where is each guy going to end up? What are the rumors going around? This comes from Jonathan Wasserman of Bleacher Report, and there is a rumor going around from him, and this is one of the better NBA reporters in the sphere, that Isaiah has this promise from the Philadelphia 76ers at either the 21 spot, first round, or the 34 spot early in the second round. And Kendrick Perkins, as I mentioned, Tommy, wants the Philadelphia 76ers to draft Mason Jones. So it seems to be a lot of coming out from Daryl Morey's camp, who is the new general manager of the Philadelphia 76ers. Seems like he likes the Arkansas boys, or at least that's the rumor going around.
You just wish you could trust anything said pre-draft.
I know.
That's the problem, is how much of this is positioning, how much of this is look over here while we're doing something else over here, with one hand and the other hand's busy at work with something else. So I don't know. I just know that it would be a great boost for the Arkansas program, even though more so with Isaiah Joe, probably less so with Mason Jones, that I don't know how much Musselman gets the credit for, but I just know that the more Arkansas's name is mentioned around the draft, the more it helps Musselman down the road. I think this program is well on its way with recruiting. I think Musselman's going to be more involved with players coming out of this program in the draft in the future. It's going to take some time, but I think that you see the talent in the players that, based on who he's recruiting, this is not going to be the last year we're paying attention to the NBA draft. Moses Moody's an example of a player that I think in due time, 2 years from now, 3 or whatever it is, we're going to be having conversations about draft placement with Moses Moody soon, and there's probably others as well.
So the interesting thing about Moses is he was like a top 45 player, top 30-ish player in recruiting-wise, but he's already projected like top 20 in next year's NBA draft, which doesn't really correlate, but I'm curious to see. When we already saw how polished he was in the red-white game. He's 6'6" and has a 7.0 wingspan. Think about that.
Yeah.
6'6" has a 7.0 wingspan.
They don't
a
make
7
many
foot.
like that.
That is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
He just looks so smooth. Silky smooth is the term that is used around him continuously, and I'm excited about his potential at the U of A. I don't know a lot of guarantees about the starting five. That is a guarantee that Moses Moody will start.
Mm-hmm.
Guarantee. It is absolutely going to happen. But back to tonight, when you look at Mason Jones and Isaiah Joe, their projections, the Arkansas basketball social media has put this out. Mason is projected 49th by Yahoo Sports, 59th by Sports Illustrated, 39th by USA Today, 52nd by The Athletic, and 45th by Bleacher Report. So he has a bunch of second-round rankings. Now, Isaiah, y'all, has rankings 34 by Yahoo Sports, 36 by Sports Illustrated, 34 by USA Today, 36 by The Athletic, and 28th by Bleacher Report. So only one first-round projection from Isaiah Joe as far as the major outlets go. I think this could go a number of different ways tonight. I think it's more likely that Isaiah Joe is drafted before Mason, but I think there's a really good chance that both these guys could wind up relatively high in the second round. I don't know about first round, but I think both these guys are going to find themselves drafted pretty early off the board in round number 2.
Will you watch the NBA draft tonight?
I will tonight. It's at 7 o'clock.
Jenkins, will you watch the NBA draft tonight? Hang on, I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to have it on.
It's the easiest draft to watch because it's just 2 rounds.
It's very short.
Can we put that on a Twitter poll? Just simple yes or no. Will you watch the NBA draft tonight? I'll be interested to see how our audience responds to that. Will you watch the NBA draft tonight? Yes or no?
I think
with technology, I'm not going to be A, I got some kids stuff that I've got to get done. But B, with the technology we got, I'll know instantly in my hand, if I've got my phone nearby, when Mason Jones, Isaiah Joe, and if I want, I can turn on alerts and find out when anybody goes. So it won't, is it appointment TV anymore? I don't know. But, I know the hardcores will watch. I'll be interested to see how much of our audience because of the Razorback ties, is glued into this draft tonight.
And I think that's going to be a reason where you see more than the average average NBA fan just watches, because their Razorback ties included this. I
just want to get a barometer on it, because I think it will be more than I think right now.
I think my thing is, I don't know if I would watch it if there weren't two Razorbacks that I didn't think were going to get drafted tonight. But because they are, I think I'm going to watch it. Sam Presti, look at one of these guys. Get them on the Thunder. That's all I got to say as far as that goes.
Hey, is your home in Arkansas at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? They're offering customers a no-cost program to increase your comfort and to lower your bills. They have trained crews that will do an energy audit at your home. There's no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, they'll come back with measures like attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and a whole lot more. And again, this is a no-cost program. Call 1-800-272-9741. That's 1-800-272-9741 for OG&E's home weatherization program.
I've been looking forward to this segment all week. Coming up, I want to talk about your favorite LSU memories, as well as getting to some quick-hitting headlines coming up. Stay with us, folks. It's the Morning Rush.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, 97.1 in Camden and South Arkansas, and everywhere on hitthatline.com.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun. Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Do you like paying rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year, up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2021. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14th. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of Chambers Bank, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and ESPN Arkansas.
0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and GMC Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get 0 for 84 months on the hottest selling Buick model, the Buick Encore, or 0 for 84 on the Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury and third row seating. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
You have work to do. You need a tractor that helps get it done. TYM has the full range of tractors designed to meet the task. With the TYM easy-to-use controls and features, switching from one job to another is easy. And with the full range of models from 19 horsepower to 105 horsepower turbo, there is a TYM tractor that's right for the job and for you. But you can't buy a TYM tractor just anywhere. It's only sold at authorized TYM dealers like Bush Tractor, 7301 South Zero, Fort Smith.
Is your Arkansas home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a no-cost-to-you program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, their crews will install measures that can include attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, advanced power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and much more. The services provided through this program are at no cost to you for qualifying homes. If you or someone you know could benefit from home weatherization improvements, call OG&E today at 800-272-9741. That's 800-272-9741. Green RV
RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Breen RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Breen RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breen RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button. Give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Jones now throwing to the end zone, and it is complete!
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Kraft ESPN.
Love hearing the beautiful voice of the late, great Paul Eels coming in on Miracle on Markham 2002, your victory over the LSU Tigers. So this segment coming up after Quick Hitting Headlines. What is your favorite Arkansas-LSU memory? Play, press conference, game. What stands out? 877-377-6963.
Quick Hitting Headlines are brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. It's hot tub season, and Hot Spring Spas are the #1 spa that you'll find out there. More energy efficient. You'll just, when you see them, when you stop in for yourself in Springdale or in Fort Smith and you just look at them, you'll see the quality and the construction, the way they're built. You can look at them. I mean, there's different designs, so if you need a 4-seater, you need a 6-seater, you need one larger, you want one with the jet design that's specific for your back issue or the way you want to relax, or you want one that has the built-in Bluetooth speakers or an entertainment screen, they can do that for you. They have saltwater models available. It's a great way to ease muscle pain, get a better night's sleep. It's a great way to start or end your day with a hot spring spa. And again, did I mention energy efficient? With the way they're constructed, the insulation they build into them, it's not going to spin your electric meter up a whole bunch. So you're going to be impressed with the way these things run as well. It's Hot Spring Spas, available at Burton Pools and Spas, 6121 Zero Street in Fort Smith, just off 549 at the 412 exit in Springdale, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Tom Murphy is one of the best in the business when it comes to his job reporting on the Arkansas Razorbacks, and he got the first intel on this. 2 staff members who are not on-field coaches and at least 1 player received a positive result from coronavirus testing conducted on Sunday. That is what he and the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette learned. And this is important because it's not just those guys y'all should be worried about, but it's also the contact tracing and then just everything that could come out of this findings and what else it entails for the Arkansas football team.
Yeah, and I think this has been the issue all along when you just read what's been going on around the SEC. It's not that A&M or LSU or these teams that have been missing multiple games in some cases have had dozens of positive tests in recent weeks. It's 2 or 3 like we've seen here in this initial story, and then it snowballs into dozens of players quarantined with contact tracing. Then you can't meet the 56-player minimum, and then you can't play. And that's what concerns me is, can you stay above the minimum requirements to play with enough linemen on both sides of the ball, keep your quarterback situation, which I think, unless one of these assistants were involved with your quarterbacks or something of that nature, you should be fine there. Contact tracing is what's been just a big problem for all of these teams.
Detrimental for a lot of teams. So we'll keep an eye.
Because you got to have 56 to play.
Tom will join us tomorrow, and we'll get an update from him at 7:20. On the more lighthearted side of things, Eric Musselman posted a letter from his mother talking about the red-white game last week, and her mom ended up watching the event. Here are some of her takes on that. She said the transition D needs improvement. She said to try and focus on the task at hand because she didn't like how her son Eric was yelling at the reporter. And then she says that
he's yelling at his kids while talking to the reporter.
While talking to the reporter. Yeah. And then she also said that his team played hard, just like in a reminder of her father's. And she also wanted to remind every single one of the basketball team members to eat their vegetables.
I don't know if this letter was designed just to get some conversation going, but it's well done. And I hope Mom's doing well out there. I looked up where Bird Rock Beach and Tennis Club might be. I couldn't find it exactly, but Bird Rock is a part of San Diego and that area out in La Jolla. So look beautiful. Look like a place we'd like to hang out in Southern California for a week or a weekend or forever. So I mean, so I hope Miss Musselman's doing well out there in Cali.
Found that kind of funny. This was sent to us yesterday. The Arkansas Razorbacks registered record-breaking graduation success rate of 85%. Last year was 84. It's 85. Does this do anything for you? Do you care about this whatsoever? Because I don't.
You don't care about it unless it's really low. If it's really high,
your APR sucks. Yeah.
You don't care about it unless it's going to cost you postseason opportunities or scholarships, and that's the only time you really care about this. We should care about it more, but we don't.
Doesn't move the needle.
No.
Some bad news that also we got yesterday is Michael Qualls, former Arkansas Razorback, his apartment burned down. There was an interesting story. I actually donated to the GoFundMe account yesterday that they woke up, him and his girlfriend and his daughter woke up to a fire, and they had to jump out of the apartment building. So it was a scary situation for Michael and his family, and luckily he's okay. There was no terrible injuries or anything, but if you wanted, there's a GoFundMe account going on right now, and I would encourage all, if you have the spare money, to help reach out and donate to possible. But just a scary situation for a former Razorback. That's a frightening deal for you and your family if that was ever to occur.
Right here as we're beginning the holiday season, and it's the most unusual holiday season any of us have went into, and anytime you have some kind of tragedy in your life, I think it's just a little harder to cope with when you're headed into Thanksgiving, the holidays. So, the best to Michael and his family.
Two more fun ones before we get into your favorite Arkansas-LSU memory. Are you a Fight Club fan?
I've seen the movie. I'm not a huge fan of Fight Club.
Okay.
So, if that's what you're referring to.
Yes. Yeah. Well, this occasionally, I feel like a story breaks out like this every 6 months, every year or so. The cops apparently had to break up an illegal New York City fight club. Now, I've never had the desire to join
Okay, where
one
are
of these.
the legal New York City fight clubs?
That's a great question. So I've never understood the desire and philosophy to get my face beaten and bludgeoned every single week.
Some people are, what was your phrase? Just built different. Some built different.
I guess they're built different.
Some people are built different and just need to test their toughness, test their type A, test their alpha male a little more than others. And I think that's where you get the fight club element.
And I'm not condoning fighting in certain areas. Sometimes someone needs to get whacked, and I'm not talking about get whacked like killed, but like get beaten around a little bit if they're toting the line or whatever. But I just
Jenkins
like you
has said that about you once or twice.
Has he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, luckily one of those.
I've I've fended him off of you a few times.
See.
Kept it from happening.
He couldn't catch me. Now, if he landed one, that would be tough, but he couldn't catch me. That would be the key part of that whole thing.
If I catch you, though,
if you ever did,
like I said,
it's done.
It would be done. But you got it. Curtains. Yeah, that's the way to put it. Last quick hitting headline. This I found a little interesting. Gluten-free Oreos are coming out in 2021, and yes, there's a double stuff version. Will you try them?
What's the point? I mean, gluten-free is not a diet, by the way. I mean, it is a diet because if you have indigestion or if you have digestion issues, like, if you have IBS or Crohn's or something, gluten-free may help that. But gluten-free is not like a weight loss program. Gluten-free just helps with your digestion.
So my little sister and my aunt are both gluten-free, not because of choice, but because of they have to. Or
right. I've got some family members, and there's times where my wife has even struggled and felt better when not eating gluten. I've got several family members that go gluten-free because they just feel better. It's not a weight loss thing.
See,
so if you're going to eat unless you need to be gluten-free to not have tummy trouble, why would you eat a gluten-free Oreo?
And that's the question I have. And their diabetes runs in my family. My grandpa had it. My dad had it. I hope it skips a generation. And you've seen the way I eat, and I'm probably I do exercise. I do drink a lot of water, but it can only do so much with the pellets that I consume. And to me, like if I eventually get that, I'm going to have to change my eating habits. But I'm not going to change the way, like, I absolutely eat every single day throughout the week. My thing is I eat healthy during the week, and I eat like crap on the weekends. But unless it's physically affecting my health, I want to eat good food. And again, like you're saying, I get the gluten-free aspect if you have to, but I'm not going to openly go vegan, openly go gluten-free, do the keto diet or whatever.
Do you know what gluten is? Or do you just know the term?
It's in like corn, high fructose corn syrup where no one knows what it is.
No. It's part of wheat. It's part of the flour.
Okay.
No, don't confuse it with like sugar. Corn, high fructose corn is more like the sugary side of it.
I'm just saying, like, no one actually knows what it is.
No. I think people know exactly what it is.
Well, I don't know what it is.
Okay,
now I do.
There you go.
So it's in flour. so in a lot of what you're saying, it's in a lot of good food. So that's going to be hard to avoid. So, but it
is tied to carbs. But yeah, I mean, if we're going to eat an Oreo, let's just eat an Oreo.
Do the whole thing.
Now, I mean, there's a lot of things gluten-free that taste fine. There are some things that, you just throw them straight in the trash that are gluten-free.
Okay.
Because my wife has dabbled some in the gluten-free diet, and there's some things that are tolerable. My mother-in-law has gluten-free items that she prefers because it helps her. And there are some things that are tolerable, and then there are some things, like if they come out on a cookie sheet, throw the item in the trash and eat the cookie sheet,
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's going to close out our quick hit headlines. Time to dive into the Arkansas-LSU conversation. Your favorite Arkansas-LSU memory, game, interview, play. What is it? 877-377-6963. First question goes to David in South Arkansas. David, you're on the Morning Rush.
Good morning, gentlemen. I guess several memories, if I may. One, I was at that game in Little Rock, the Miracle on Markham. I was sitting kind of on the goal line on the other side of the stadium, and just the joyous pandemonium that was going on.
The 41-yard line of LSU. There's the snap. Jones looking. Jones now throwing to the end zone, and it is complete!
David, I figured you probably want to hear it again for you.
Oh, that was beautiful, beautiful. But what a lot of people don't realize, the extra point was moved back because of the celebrating. Is like, God, please make that sucker. And I've been to several games down at Baton Rouge, and the fans, LSU fans, are wonderful people. That's a great, great stadium to see a game because they're into the game. Yeah. They're knowledgeable, but during the game, they're royal jerks, I'll say that. But one of the greatest memories, one tailgated, we had a wonderful Cajun gentleman named Simon Lafarge who cooked up some of the best food I've ever had in my life. And have you guys ever had Nutra? Do you know what Nutra is?
I have not had Nutra.
That is not an unfamiliar. Yeah, tell me more, because I think I have.
If you look at it, it's basically a giant big water wrap, and he even had some of that soaked up in barbecue sauce, and I had no clue what it was, but he grilled that up, and we're eating away. He said, "You know what you eating?" I'm like, "I haven't got a clue." He explained it, and I'll tell you what, with enough beer and barbecue sauce, the Cajuns can make anything edible, anything edible. But that was certainly a wonderful memory, just the food, the wonderful tailgating. The atmosphere of the game was horrible. We did lose that game. I do know that. But just a couple of memories, and I do hope we do a curb stomping on them Saturday. That will be just a wonderful, wonderful experience. Thank you, gentlemen.
David, appreciate the call. And I have my roommate has been to Baton Rouge 2 of the last 3 years when he's gone down, and he has said the food down there is the best he's ever had.
I mean, of all the cuisines, Italian, American cuisine with a big fat filet mignon, or pick one. Asian food. Is there anything better though than the Cajun? Because it just kind of blends them all.
It's hard to. It is very hard to beat.
It's just hard to beat. Really good, well prepared Cajun cuisine.
I had the opportunity following graduation to go to New Orleans, and the food we had down there was unbelievable. I did not partake in a beignet from Cafe Du Monde.
The line's too long.
Yeah, my buddies went. Half our group went, half our group went somewhere else. But the food we had down there was unbelievable. Loved every bit of it. All right.
I've been 3 times. I've been 3 times to New Orleans, not standing in the line. I mean, it's a tourist trap. I mean, I'm sure they're great. There's other places to get beignets. They're not Cafe Du Monde. I understand that's the brand, but yeah, I only have a limited amount of time. While I'm there, I'm not spending an hour of it in line.
No, I completely understand that.
Because to me, New Orleans and Vegas are a lot alike.
We're going back for a bachelor party.
Got 3 days, and I got to get out of town.
You get out of Well, we're going back for a bachelor party. We're going to have a big butt beer, a hurricane, a Shark Tank. There's a lot of food and drinks that we will be partaking in.
Got to go to Mama's and get a po' boy.
We did have one of those as well. All right, back to the phone lines. We'll go up to Fayetteville. Welcome in Tim to the conversation. Tim, what is your favorite Arkansas-LSU memory?
Well, the one that sticks out in my mind is always basketball. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Al Dillard. They went down to LSU with Nolan Richardson, and it was coming down to the wire, and he put, I believe it was Al Dillard in, and he hit a buzzer beater, and that place was so loud. When he hit that shot, you could hear a pin drop, and they won it. But that one always sticks out in my mind.
Yeah, Tim, there's some good basketball. Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's interesting you bring up basketball because you think about some of the Indians on the basketball court. You think about Oliver Miller blocking Shaquille O'Neal, the Razorbacks winning in overtime. You think about, I think it was Keith Hornsby that came into Bud Walton Arena, hit that game winner over Michael Qualls to win it for LSU. I mean, there's been some really good basketball games. Now, I initially jumped to all football memories, but Tim, you're exactly right. There's been some good basketball finishes as well.
Yeah, I don't know. This must be the game Tim's talking about. I just pulled the media guide out in the national championship season when Arkansas went to LSU, and Arkansas was ranked number 1. LSU was unranked. It was 108-105 in overtime. So I assume that's the game he was referring, but I don't remember the ending to that. But that was a heck of a ball game that year that Arkansas won it all.
Dale Brown and Nolan Richardson had some classic battles back in the day. They were some fun matchups, and you think about some of the great players. I mentioned Shaquille O'Neal. We know the legendary players that have played for the Arkansas Razorbacks. There's no need to even categorize them, but it's pretty cool to see that this rivalry not only transcends. And I mean, if you want to touch on baseball, baseball's been the same thing. For the longest time, since 2011, Arkansas could not beat LSU in a series. You beat them the first game. You beat them the second game. But you couldn't beat them in the third game. You were finally able to overcome that. I think it was 2 years ago, right? If I remember that correctly. And so since then, I mean, there's just this rivalry. It's not necessarily Bedlam, OU, Oklahoma State, where it's treated like a massive rivalry, but they're in the basketball, football, and baseball. There are some good rivalries. All right, let's go to Little Rock. Let's go to the capital city. Welcome in David. David, you were on the morning rush, man.
All right. Yeah, I wanted to talk about 2008 when Casey Dick threw the touchdown pass to Lennon Crawford.
Let's go and play that for you real quick.
It's great to have a senior quarterback in here. He's not panicking. Most important thing is to get the first down. Don't worry about the clock. Just get the right play called.
Needs less than a yard. He's going for it all. He's got a receiver in the end zone. It is caught by Arkansas. London Crawford comes down with the ball. And with 21 seconds left to play, the extra point will probably give Arkansas a win.
Well, David, we did know that it gave Arkansas a win. And Miracle on Markham, too, I was in attendance for. Man, what a memory.
It was a great memory, and for my family especially. So I had my 4 sons there at the game, and it sounded like everybody in the stadium there was cheering at that point when we won the game. But there was one little boy that wasn't. My son Zach had an LSU shirt on, and I had told him before the game, because we're all Razorback fans, I told him before the game, I said, look, if we win, which we weren't going to win, then you've got to convert to be a Razorback fan. So when London Crawford won the game, Zach was over there crying. Of course, my other 3 boys have their Razorback shirts on, and they're freaking out. And it's just a fun memory. Long story short, now Zach's playing baseball for the Razorbacks. So we converted.
Great.
You know who this is, Tommy, right? That story just something. This is David White. This is John David's dad and Zach White's dad.
So.
I remember that.
How did you raise 3 sons that were Razorback fans and one that was an LSU? I got to hear this story. How did
Zach was has his own mind, still does, but I don't know. He just had weird taste in teams. He loved the Minnesota Vikings growing up, even though we were all Dallas Cowboy fans. The one sports team that he loved, that we all loved, he was a Cardinals fan in baseball. So. Okay. That was good, but when he was little, I guess 2008, he was only 6 years old. So he just, for whatever reason, he loved those LSU Tigers. But after that day, he converted against his will.
Yeah, and I guess they had counseling back then for things like being an LSU fan, did they? for pediatric counseling for LSU fans, I guess. Oh, well, that's a great story right there.
Oh man, well, David, it's good to hear from you.
It was a lot of fun. Well, yeah, good to talk to you. But we used to go to all the War Memorial games back in the good old days when they had them, and we'd set up shop outside the stadium and cook cheeseburgers right before the game. And I think Ty ate a few of those, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. I managed to scarf down a few of those.
Some things haven't changed, David. I cook cheeseburgers, and he scarfs down a few still.
Yeah, I hear you. Listen, y'all have a great day, man. Fun to talk to you.
Thank you for the call.
Absolutely. So, a little backstory on that. That is David White, the father of John David White, Zach White. John David is a football player on the University of Arkansas. Zach is now a baseball player at the University of Arkansas. His son Cooper, I think, is a senior now at Pulaski Academy, one of the better wide receivers on the team. And then his son Walker is the starting, I think he was 9th grade starting quarterback for Little Rock Christian, but
you may know. I should have. There was a pretty good amateur golfer from Little Rock named David White. Is that one and the same?
That's David. David has some.
I remember watching him when I was, just say a teenager, and he's a little bit older than me, and he could hit a golf ball pretty good.
He can smash.
I remember seeing him over here in the River Valley area play some ASGA events, and he can flat play.
So, and it's funny David brings that up because I remember the specific game because of the memory itself beating LSU, but I do remember Zach sporting the LSU Tigers jersey or shirt that day. And so next time I saw Zach at a basketball game this past year. Next time I see him, I'm going to give him a hard time about that. But fun memories growing up with my dad and my brother going with the White family. Yeah. Now I would say that you mentioned David's prowess on the golf course. I would say the athletic lineage of, because he's also I think John Aaron, I'm trying to remember the lineage on this. John Aaron Reese, who played on the 1964 National Championship team, that's, I think, David's, if I'm trying to remember this, David's son-in-law or son. There's a connection there that I'm forgetting, but there's a lot of athletic stuff. And so I got to give my dad a hard time about this. I was like, why didn't you pass any of this thing on to my brother and I? Where's our athleticism, Dad? But definitely a cool memory. And going up to Little Rock games was definitely one of the better memories of my entire life in my childhood.
What I took out all that is you've been freeloading on cheeseburgers for a long time.
Listen, my dad, David White, Chris Sorvillo, they'd cook them, and
you'd eat them,
and I'd eat them. Me, my brother, and the White boys would eat them. So that's they put them up, and I put them down. So all right, back to the phone lines. Welcoming in Rod on I-40. Rod, you're on the morning rush, man.
Good morning, Ty. How y'all doing?
Man, we are great. We're rehashing some of these incredible Arkansas-LSU memories this morning.
We're strolling memory lane this morning.
I'm thinking Matt Jones right now, but Matt Jones did a number on him. But I mean, you guys were talking about gluten a while ago, and that's an interesting. We have lots of bakeries all over the United States. And we have some bakeries that all they run is gluten-free products because it permeates the entire loaf. It gets in that pan. You got to wash that pan and sanitize it. We can run regular bread or vice versa. Gluten's a binder. It's an emulsifier. It holds everything together. And I tried gluten-free one time out of our bakery in Denver. That stuff is nasty. I know people can't stand gluten. It's a binder. I mean, you can imagine what that does to your system. And some people just react badly to it. Fortunately, I'm not one of those people, but to me, it's like sugar-free ice cream. You know, I mean, I couldn't even take that thought.
Yeah, Rod, appreciate the call this morning. I'm not a fan of gluten-free products, and again, I'm not ripping anyone that has to do it for health concerns. But if you have the choice between one or the other, you're going with the real stuff rather than the fake stuff as far as that's concerned. So great calls so far this morning. We've got a bunch of texts. We'll continue on this conversation. Your favorite Arkansas-LSU memory. And again, we'll continue to update you with the SEC update and then what's going to happen in the NBA draft tonight with Mason Jones and Isaiah Joe. Hour number 2 on the way.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. The Fence Man recently built new gates for my existing fence. The whole process was easy, quick, and most important.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Frankfurt Furniture Super Black Friday Blowout Sale. 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thanksgiving Day. 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday the 27th. And 6:30 to 5:30 p.m. Saturday the 28th. For example, Catnapper Reclining Sofa and Love, regular $22.50, on sale, finance price $18.22, cash price $16.70. Store-wide sale. All furniture, bedroom furniture, and mattresses on sale. 3 days only at Frank Rowe Furniture. Super Black Friday sale. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Point safety inspection. Plus, we will deliver your new purchase right to your front door. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or online 24/7 at randallford.com. Home of the lowest price guarantee.
Come see what's new at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. In stock now, irons from TaylorMade, Mizuno, along with new woods and irons from Callaway. Also in stock, the RTX Zip Core wedges and Spider putters. The Golf Nut carries a great line of shoes, apparel, and accessories for your everyday golfing needs. As always, check Facebook for our daily specials. Work on your game in our indoor simulation base, or play a round of golf on great courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
It's time to plan the Christmas party for your business or family. And the place to make it a special and memorable time is at Doe's Eat Place in Fort Smith. Award-winning steaks and atmosphere, along with the largest selections of adult beverages in the River Valley, await your evening. When you think about what to get that hard-to-impress boss or family member, gift certificates from Doe's are sure to impress. Don't delay. Call Doe's Eat Place at 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, open 5 till 9 Tuesday through Thursday and 5 till 10 Friday and Saturday.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Full-time farmers, hobby farmers, and landowners, your time is important. Make the most out of that time with a brand new Branson tractor from Bush Machine & Tractor in Fort Smith. With tractors from 19 to 105 horsepower, we have a tractor that will fit your needs. Ask Bush Machine & Tractor about their special financing options and free loader rebates. Bush Machine & Tractor in Fort Smith is Arkansas's #1 Branson dealer. Check their inventory at bushtractor.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny sky today, our high this afternoon into the upper 60s. I think tonight we'll end up with a clear sky. An overnight low in the low to mid 40s. Thursday, sunshine, our high low 70s. Friday, back to sun, our high in the low 70s. And taking a peek at Saturday, sunny skies, our high near 70. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by OG&E Weatherization Program for Arkansas customers with homes at least 10 years old. Call 1-800-272-9741 for details or log on to OGE.com.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Quantum Property Services. Buying, selling, investing, and encompassing all your property needs.
Let it rest. I'm playing football for LSU. I'm preparing for Arkansas. I'm preparing for the next game and the next game after that.
Now, Coach Miles, is that Arkansas? Is that next to Louisiana? You should know it's Arkansas.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Bush Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush. Borderline erotic. With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
It's time to bring the boot back home. You've lost the last 4 games to the LSU Tigers. You lost 7 of the last 9. You need to go get that boot. If you remember in 2014, when Arkansas finally overcame that 17-game SEC losing streak against the 17th team in the country, beat him 17-0. As David Basil said pregame, I want every one of you to go over there and get that boot. Well, they did that. You hope you see the same occurrence on Saturday, where the players make it way over and grab that 125
It's heavy.
pound trophy, golden carat or whatever.
And with the price of gold, it's more valuable now than it's ever been before.
Exactly. exactly. So that's what you want to see on Saturday. How it happens. That's coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Have you been diagnosed with sleep apnea, or you have a CPAP machine already and you're tired of the noise, the constant cleaning of your CPAP machine, your wife tired of the noise and she's complaining to you all the time? Call our friend Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith. He can help you with sleep apnea by getting rid of your CPAP machine with a custom dental appliance that allows you to chunk the CPAP and enjoy a great night's sleep without the CPAP with a custom dental appliance. Dr. Bo has been treating patients for many years and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. So call for an appointment at 479-785-1419. So much easier to travel, so much easier to deal with this, particularly if you're flying somewhere and not having to travel with the CPAP when you have this custom dental appliance. So find out more, 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
This is an interesting football game for Arkansas. You've been the hunter all season. No one expecting you to win. You haven't been favored in a single game so far in 2020. And for the first time since 2018, you opened up as a favorite against an SEC opponent. How is this team going to handle the upped expectations? How are they going to handle the change of being the hunted rather than the hunter? LSU is the hunter this week. No one thinks that LSU... All right, go ahead.
You really think that?
Yes.
You really think their mindset is in Baton Rouge, with winning the last 4 in this series, with LSU's program, you really think they look at Arkansas as the favorite in this game within the walls of their program?
I think the college...
I understand what the betting line is, but do you really... I know what the outside world is, but I'm talking about the football team, the coaching staff. Do you really think they respect Arkansas enough to look at them as the favorite that hey, we better be ready because Arkansas is the favorite this week and we got to go hunt them down? I don't know if I can get all the way on board with that.
Well, here's what I'll get on board with. The season for LSU is falling apart. Terrace Marshall had to come together, the best probably wide receivers, Derek Stingley Jr. is the best player, and call a players-only meeting. When you hear a players-only meeting, that typically is not good. It's not good talked about your surroundings. Their season,
got internal issues.
Their season is on the brink of disaster and disarray. So, yes, I do feel like this is an important game for them. And, yes,
I don't disagree with that.
And, yes, I do feel like they feel that the college football world thinks Arkansas should win this game. Now, it's not just this massive majority by any stretch of the imagination, because I think the betting line is indicative of that. But I do think that they are hearing the noise in Baton Rouge. You look on LSU message boards. You look at LSU writers. You look at a variety of things surrounding that program. A lot of people are going to pick Arkansas this week, whether they want to or not. That being said, when you feel out a fan base, when you feel out what the media within that particular program is saying, that bleeds over to the players. That in turn leads me to believe that they feel slighted. They feel like that Arkansas is the picked favorite in this matchup. And that's why I think they're going to come as far as the hunter rather than the hunted side of things. This is you mentioned like the previous success that LSU's had against Arkansas, 4 straight wins. You look at only one of those wins the last 4 years has been close for LSU. Tommy, this is not the same LSU team. There is like virtually no one on this team in 2020 that should have the confidence of, we're LSU. This is a bad football team. This is not a good football team.
I have a hard time, but again, we've seen team after team this year not really take Arkansas maybe as serious as they should in certain games. Would you agree with that? There's been teams that have overlooked Arkansas maybe to some degree. We've even seen some teams make that statement in in their post-game comments.
Matt Corral, yeah.
Matt Corral being the one we would point to. So, and again, I think when you look at it, I mean, this game's a little closer to toss-up than clear favorite. I mean, you look at the betting line, and I think when you look at, the talking heads come Saturday, if this game is one that, a show like College Game Day is going to put up for their experts to pick, it's going to be probably divided somewhat evenly amongst their pundits. So I just don't know that LSU views themselves as some heavy underdog in their own mind.
I didn't say heavy. I just said they're the underdog.
Well, I don't even know that they view themselves as an underdog is what I would say.
Do you think they're the underdog, though?
Absolutely. I think Arkansas is the better team. And I think with the distractions this week, but I'm not talking about what we think or what Arkansas thinks. I'm trying to put myself in the mind of what LSU's probably coming here and thinking, and I believe they're confident that they're the better team, especially with a couple of weeks off, that they're going to come in here and win this football game is where their mindset's at. I don't believe LSU sitting down there at Baton Rouge thinking, boy, we're in a lot of trouble this week going to Fayetteville. I don't think they believe they're the hunted. I believe they believe they're the hunter this week. Or I got that backwards.
Yeah.
Let me say that the other way. I believe they believe they're the hunter, not the hunted.
And I don't think by any stretch of the imagination Arkansas is just this heavy betting favorite this weekend or this heavy powerhouse that's going to beat LSU by 50. But I do think one of the motivation aspects that Orgeron is going to use is that college football thinks that and I'm talking from LSU's vantage point, that you're going to lose this football game on the road to Arkansas, and he's going to point to these performances and this performances and stuff. But I keep coming back to when you say, oh, we've had this success consistent, we've had this, we shouldn't be considered the underdog and stuff. There's virtually no one on this roster outside of Terrace Marshall and Derek Stingley Jr. that were, and I think there's an offensive lineman whose name I forget, but that were just major contributors to last year's ball club. And so to me, I don't even think you can use the past in terms of, hey, we did this, we did that, because these players really weren't a part of those dominating wins over Arkansas.
Yeah, that's why the game's, the 2-point line this morning? I hadn't looked at it today.
Well, it's flipped, actually. So it depends on what Vegas outlet you look at, that some actually have LSU as the favorite as of this morning, which I found interesting because Arkansas starting out as a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Last year doesn't mean anything for this game. I mean, it's 56-20 a year ago for the best LSU team we've seen, in a long time. So I'm with you on that part, but I'm just saying I don't think LSU's coming in here with this great fear of Arkansas at this point and feeling like they can't win this football game. So I think the distractions of this week, though, can't be overstated. I think the USA Today reports and everything going on around their program right now are a real problem, and hopefully Arkansas's reported COVID issues aren't the problem that balances things out. Hopefully Arkansas has enough roster ready to go in there and really compete, because I think LSU's ripe for the taking this week with all the distractions swirling around their athletic department.
And no Miles Brennan, who looked like he was going to be a pretty decent quarterback in this league. It's either going to be TJ Finley or Max Johnson, who you face on Saturday. Coming up, we'll get into your SEC update as well as talk with Brett Good, former Razorback.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, 97.1 in Camden and South Arkansas, and everywhere on hitthatline.com.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Frank Throw Furniture Super Black Friday Blowout Sale. 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thanksgiving Day. 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday the 27th. And 6:30 to 5:30 p.m. Saturday the 28th. For example, Catnapper Reclining Sofa and Love, regular $22.50, on sale, finance price $18.22, cash price $16.70. Store-wide sale. All furniture, bedroom furniture, and mattresses on sale. 3 days only at Frank Throw Furniture. Super Black Friday sale. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
79649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Craving prime rib this morning? Hardee's introduces the new prime rib and fried egg biscuit. We took tender prime rib and put it on a fluffy made-from-scratch biscuit. Yeah, that's right. We made prime rib for breakfast. Premium, juicy, sliced prime rib for breakfast. And then we topped it with a freshly cracked fried egg and melted Swiss. Why? We knew you needed it, that's why. The new prime rib and fried egg biscuit from Hardee's. Feed your happy. Available for limited time during breakfast hours at participating restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
Your voice lets him know he's safe. Shelter Insurance does the same for you. Roadside assistance is now included with your auto policy. So if your car leaves you stranded, just call and we'll take care of you while you take care of what's most important. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. Wear your shield, wear your shelter. Some restrictions apply.
Ask shelter agents Tiffany Newman in Mulberry or Warren Robertson in Alma about a free insurance review.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and GMC Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get 0 for 84 months on the hottest selling Buick model, the Buick Encore, or 0 for 84 on the Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury and third row seating. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Football picked off in midair. And here we go down the sideline. Alonzo Highsmith. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Let's try this call-in number.
Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
Gonna get into your SEC update coming up here on the Morning Rush. Talk with Brett Good, former Arkansas Razorback, former Super Bowl champion. Talk a little Arkansas football and as well touch on some NFL topics with Brett this morning.
Hey, are you tired of your noisy neighbors? If you're tired of the music at all hours of the night or rough weekends with loud neighbors, you're looking for a new apartment, a bigger duplex, new place to call home, call our friends at Trinity Multifamily. They manage thousands of units across the country and plenty right here at home, whether it's Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, Central Arkansas. Maybe you got to move upcoming to Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Kansas City, Dallas. They manage thousands of units in places in our region of the country and across the country as well. 479-452-1817. Or go online. They have an easy search tool on their website. You can put in the zip code of where you're going, a few search parameters, bedrooms, those kind of things, bathrooms, square footage, that kind of stuff. And it can search up exactly what you're looking for at TrinityMultifamily.com. That's TrinityMultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
The Arkansas Razorbacks this college football season are leading the league in forcing 2.3 turnovers per game. Now, you think back to last season, they tied their interception total last season through the second game, or the third game against Ole Miss. I mean, this was, I guess it's fourth game, but this is a football team that has just been forcing turnover after turnover after turnover, and it's good to see that side of things for Barry Odom's squad is doing quite well.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit of that. Let me just play the devil's advocate. It's a little bit of that skewed. They got too late against Tennessee. One interception that was kind of meaningless. Some of that's skewed, though, by the big numbers against Ole Miss and Mississippi State. That skews that number on the average. Would you agree? Because when you have a game with 6 and another one with whatever it was,
3, 3 against,
you've got a little bit of averaging skew. Averages can lie to you at times, and sometimes it's about where the interceptions occur. You had the ones against Tennessee that really didn't matter, and then the one against Florida really didn't matter. So you need meaningful turnovers this Saturday against LSU.
I would counter that with Eric Gregory's mattered, Jalen Catalon's didn't matter. So, and to me, that's like when a running back has a 200-plus yard game, and then he has like a 75-yard game, and he's averaging 125, and then you're like, oh, well, that one's skewed. I mean, to me, it's still like you're as a defense competing and tops in the league.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, sometimes averages don't tell the whole story. And, when you have 6 in one game, that's going to make the averages. That doesn't mean Arkansas is always getting 2 point whatever, 2 to 3 interceptions every game in, game out. That's not what's always going on here. Now, I think this game, young quarterback, inexperienced, this game's ripe for maybe some things to happen.
I would think so as well. Now, you do get to watch Arkansas and LSU this Saturday, SEC Network, 11 a.m. But, Tommy, the CBS is losing in another SEC game. Texas A&M, Ole Miss not being played this weekend. They're now going to mix it up and play the Mountain West matchup between San Diego State and Nevada, and the ratings are going to plummet.
Last weekend it was okay losing the Alabama-LSU game, which is a marquee game they had set for prime time because you had the Masters that got you through the weekend. But I don't know how the finances of this work out. So you lose that game, you lose a game this week. Obviously they can stretch the calendar out another one weekend because on the 19th, could you do a doubleheader? Perhaps. I don't know what the league and CBS will work out. You'd like to obviously see the league not lose revenue because that affects every school, including Arkansas. So I'll be interested to see if we get some details on how that's going to be worked out. I don't know how the contract reads, but I can't imagine there's not some protection for the networks in there if you lose games. I mean, I can't imagine CBS is just going to keep paying, even though their deal's $55 million or whatever it is a year. It's on the lower end. That's why it's being renegotiated. Hey, keep paying even though you're not airing games, because I can guarantee you this, advertisers aren't paying for ads that didn't run in those games. I guarantee you that.
2 notes on the Arkansas-LSU game. Tom Murphy reported that Arkansas is dealing with COVID issues right now. We'll keep an update on that. He'll speak with Tom tomorrow. And then leading up to this football game, LSU wide receiver Terrace Marshall called a players-only meeting. He called it a refocusing meeting, just wanted to tell everybody that they have to lock in and have a game this week, but they have a lot to prove against the Arkansas Razorbacks. As we bring in former Razorback and Super Bowl champion Brett Good of Henderson Phillips Solutions into the conversation. Brett, this is a unique game for Arkansas and LSU because you think back to last season, this is the highest change in the history of college football betting lines, according to Brett McMurphy, from at one point in time being 42-point favorites for LSU to Arkansas being 3-point favorites a year later. And that just really tells the story of 2020, doesn't it?
It does. I saw that stat, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Because, a lot of people preseason still had LSU being good and Arkansas not winning a game. And now we get to this point in the season, and it's a big 40-point swing on the point difference, and it just shows that they may preseason have the better players, but playing as a team, Arkansas seems to be doing that better, and I think they've shown that consistently. So hopefully they can kind of bounce back after the loss and go out there and try and get a win.
Brett, I've had conversations with Marcus Spears, Jacob Hester, Matt Moscona, who does radio in Baton Rouge, and they feel like this rivalry has kind of dwindled and died a little bit. So from your perspective as a guy that's played in this rivalry, how important of a game was it as an Arkansas Razorback football player?
Well, it was huge whenever I was playing because you had to beat them or Alabama to win the SEC West, and that was the top of the SEC, and you had to go do that. Now I would agree the rivalry is kind of dead. Arkansas hasn't won a whole lot of these games, and I'm sure LSU doesn't really care a whole lot about – they want to win, but the boot doesn't mean as much to them as it probably would Arkansas this game because they've won it so many years in a row. And to create that rivalry, we've got to go out there and start winning these type of ball games and keep that trophy for more than 1 year.
For Arkansas, you got to win this one to keep the chance alive, for a winning season, which probably isn't going to happen with Alabama still in your schedule. But for LSU, it feels like this is a breaking point just to salvage your season. It feels like with everything going on around their program this week off the field and the USA Today report, a win is what they need this week to really kind of just salvage things with the LSU program that's just been in shambles compared to last year. I've made the point this week, Brett, that this is a matchup of two programs that couldn't be more juxtaposed this year when comparing national champion a year ago that's now 2-3 versus a team that didn't win more than 2 games the last 2 years in Arkansas, that both of these programs seem to be going more in opposite directions than any other two programs in Power 5 football right now.
I couldn't agree with you more, and that's what's crazy about it is, you're coming off a national championship team, and then they don't get to celebrate. I remember it's kind of like the lockout year when we won the Super Bowl. We didn't get to really celebrate with the team because we were locked out. So that's kind of the way LSU, they spent the whole offseason. They didn't get to do a whole lot of functions as a team because of coronavirus, and now they've all come together, and you realize that they're losing games. So what happens with teams like that is they start pointing the finger, they start getting fights. So you wonder, is there trouble in the locker room? And then Arkansas, you give credit to the coaching staff and to the senior leadership that's there. You say, wow, they've come together and they're putting this thing, in play. And I heard your stat right before about the turnover margin. That's huge. Things that Arkansas hasn't been doing in many years consistently, we're doing this year. And I think if both kind of keep going on the trend, I think, that happens for the next couple of years, then Arkansas obviously goes up that totem pole, and then you start talking about actually competing for SEC West championships.
I mentioned the USA Today report that's been circulating and swirling around the LSU athletic department this week. For a football team, when you have a story and a cloud hanging over your program like that during a game week, how hard is it to block that out from being a distraction from your game preparations?
It's really hard, and some people don't read it at all, but unfortunately with Twitter and Facebook and everything that's out there, people are constantly on their phone, and so they're seeing all this information, and a lot of guys they either get their feelings hurt or they get upset, but then some guys just get mad and it makes them focus more, and then they really want to hone in to do their job. And But a team like LSU, we got to remember, they're still coming. Most of those guys are still on that team that came off that championship game last year. So they played in big-time ball games. They know what they're doing. Now, obviously, the makeup's a little bit different this year, but there's still a lot of good football players on that team. And so they're not taking the media, what they're saying is honest, because you either believe them when they say you're going to go back out and be competitive this year, or you're going to believe them when they tell you that you're awful. So you've got to kind of take the media for what it is when they start dogging a team with a team that just came off a national title, because they're still a good football team. They're in a really interesting year with COVID, new coaching staffs outside the head coach. They've really mixed up the whole program, and they've got to find some senior leadership. So I think that they'll take a step forward, but they'll try not to read those articles.
Former Razorback, former Green Bay Packer, now part of the Henderson Phillips Solutions team, Brett Good, with us on the Morning Rush. Brett, you got to play in this series. I wonder, from your perspective, either the game or two that you played in, or just from a fan perspective, what is your favorite Arkansas-LSU memory?
Well, unfortunately, when I was playing, we kind of struggled against them, but I enjoyed the game in Little Rock, and then after I was done the game, watching them go to 3 overtimes and win that down there in LSU. So those two are my top two. Probably I would say the latter was beating them in LSU in that atmosphere with a lot of guys that I had just got through playing with the year before at Arkansas, and getting to see those friends actually go out there and be able to bring that boot home. That was very memorable for me.
Brett, you mentioned the Little Rock game in 2006. I was in attendance for that one, and I remember when Darren went 80 yards just right up the gut and outraced the LSU safety, only to see Trendon Holiday take that kickoff return back to the house. How much of a dejection play was that to see LSU score on special teams one play later after Darren goes 80?
It's really hard to do, and that just kills your team. That you're riding high, and the emotions are going there, and you've got the momentum. You're going that way. You're playing at home. Little Rock's rocking, and then they do that, and it just shuts everything down, and it just puts back in reality that maybe they are who they are. Being a better football team, and unfortunately, that's what happens a lot of times in football.
Brett Good with us here on the Morning Rush. Let's talk some special teams. Devion Warren, unfortunately, going to be lost for the year with an ACL tear. He's one of your kick returners. How do you think Arkansas will approach the return game? You've got Burke still back there, and certainly when it comes to the punt game, you want to look at that. But with Warren out, how would you approach the return game now?
I think it's next man up. I think that you sit there and somebody's got to pop up there and go. I mean, you see across the board, a lot of teams have to deal with returners. It's unfortunately, knee injury that comes to it, but we've got to have somebody step in there. And I think that Fountain will have a good game plan and try and make it beneficial for us to be able to be productive in a game like this where we need our special teams to come through.
Now, Arkansas got a chance to return kickoffs quite a bit last week, unfortunately, against Florida. But one thing that kind of stood out to me is it seemed like there was a few more holding calls on returns last week with special teams. What stood out to you, and did those holding calls, did anything jump off the screen to you when watching those plays?
So the holding calls they're a killer on special teams, and like you said, we returned a lot of kickoff returns, not very many punts, which means we're not doing very good in the ball game. But to see a guy get a holding call on special teams, what happens is, and this, he loses position and he keeps holding on, and his feet get out of line, and they keep trying to go. And there's so many different tricks and techniques that they can do to keep from getting those holding calls, and you just kind of want to hit the guy square in the chest if you can't. Your returner's got to make somebody miss for you to have an explosive play. Anytime you see these guys score a touchdown, whether it be college or NFL, they're still making a guy miss. You'll see right at the point of attack, somebody's missed the block, or they let somebody go free, and that guy makes a good move on the play and then takes it to the house. So we've got to keep our hands inside, and when you start to lose that leverage on the guy, we've got to let go, because if we can just gain 10 more yards instead of going backwards 20, that's going to help us out in the long run.
If their feet are beat, they're going to cheat. Isn't that the old adage?
That's it. That's right.
Yeah.
Brett Good, former Razorback, with us here on the Morning Rush. Brett, as we get ready for this LSU game, there's not a lot of good things that come out of Louisiana, but one of the good things is food. And the Cajun cuisine that comes out of either New Orleans, Baton Rouge, or one of the Cajun towns there is spectacular. If you had to pinpoint one particular Cajun food, whether it's gumbo, whether it's just any assortment, beignets, jambalaya, what's your go-to Cajun food?
I love some crawfish etouffee. But we also had this in Green Bay. They got these pies shipped in. They were mini pies, and they were crawfish etouffee pies. And so you just pick it up and go. And it was absolutely delicious. And every time we went down there, especially in the NFL playing that, I mean, we got to go out to eat, and it was a ball because you got to eat some local restaurants that you never get to touch anywhere else in the world except right there. And they do have some really good food. I don't know about eating the wrap that y'all were talking about earlier, but I can eat a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, the blackened. If you go down there, one of the things you got to try is Ty, is the blackened redfish, which redfish, of course, is known for that part of the country. But the blackened redfish or the redfish etouffee is just unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, Brett, you mentioned the crawfish etouffee. That is definitely on my list as well. There's some big NFL news this week, Brett. And I don't know if you guys were teammates or not, or if y'all missed. I think you guys were. And forgive me if I'm mispronouncing his name. David Bakhtiari. Highest paid.
I don't know which one of you two are right.
Highest paid ever offensive lineman. What did you think about him getting upwards of 20-something million a year as an offensive lineman, man?
I'm super happy for David. You know, if you look at a picture from him in college, Colorado, to where he has come now, and he really is solidified himself as one of the best left tackles in the game. And when you get that and you're protecting a quarterback of Aaron's, you know, tenure and the price that they pay Aaron, you've got to protect him. And so you've seen that with Jason Peters, you know, playing left tackle forever. And David is a great player, but he's an even better human being. And so I'm happy for him. And it's just great to see that you guys get paid like that.
Made you wish you were about 4 inches taller and 50 pounds heavier, didn't it?
Yeah, it had to be about 15 years younger, too.
Yeah, that's
true. Let's see. So we're about, week 10 of the NFL season? It's week 9 or 10. I know your Packers got a big win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, almost squeaked it out. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, man. But when you're looking at the rest of the way, when you're looking at Super Bowl contenders, Packers, Seahawks, Bills have kind of inched in that category. We got to mention the Kansas City Chiefs. There's probably a name or two I'm not listing that someone's going to yell at me about. Is there anyone that you think solidified? Steelers. Can't forget Phil Steelers. Is there anyone that has kind of made your opinion of them change in the last week or so, where you think they're much more of a Super Bowl contender than they were a couple of weeks ago?
Well, I'll tell you who I've taken off the board is the Saints, with seeing what Drew Brees did. But I definitely would add the Bills into that. It's going to be – everything looks like it's going to run through Pittsburgh. You know, the Steelers being as good as they are right now, and they're playing consistent football, and they've always had a good defense. I'm kind of not impressed with Baltimore, just the fact that they're not keeping up with everybody. Lamar seems to be confused out there. Obviously, like you said, Kansas City is a big-time contender. And I think now in the NFC, you know, it's which Tampa Bay Buccaneers team are you going to get? I think the Packers are playing the most consistently outside of the one game they played against Tampa Bay. They're sitting at 7-2. Then you've got the Bears, Minnesota. What comes out of that division? Well, the Bears started off 5-0. And you got to. The reason I'm saying this is because you're adding an extra playoff team. Bears start off 5-0. Now they're on a big-time losing streak, and Minnesota's back in the mix because they're running the football, and their defense has always been good. So I think it's going to come down to the wire, but I think things are going to be interesting this year because of the added team to the playoff to see how the whole mix-up comes through.
All right, gut feeling on the Hogs and LSU this weekend.
I say Hogs by 10.
Okay. All right. Brett's part of the team at Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. If you are the person that deals with the employee benefits, 401k, any of the retirement plans, health insurance, that's part of your work at your work. Staffing management solutions. Brett may have to explain what that is, but I know you've got some tools to help people with that. Commercial and personal insurance. If any of that's on your menu, Brett, you can help them with that.
That's right. We can help anything along that line. We do payroll. We can help with if you're not an HR guy and you need some HR help, we offer that for companies that can't afford it. And we just try to kind of go the whole list that we can help out businesses and try and have a long-term relationship with you so we can handle it from A to Z.
All right, Northwest Arkansas, River Valley, or really anywhere you're listening, you can call or text Brett. Here's his cell phone number, 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292, so you can call him directly at that number, for any of your insurance or employee benefit needs. 651-2292 for Brett Good with Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. All right, buddy, have a good rest of your week. We'll talk to you next Wednesday.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys. Go Hogs.
So Brett mentioned some of his favorite memories of the Arkansas-LSU series, and he mentioned 2007 beating number 1 LSU on the road in Baton Rouge.
Now Dick is wide to the left side as a wide receiver, the quarterback, and McFadden will get the direct snap. Fakes it, keeps it, comes left. Watch out! He's gone! I think gets a great block and goes 73 yards.
That was Casey Dick with the block.
Stunning.
It's just the pressure he puts on you as a defense. If you don't have your proper angles and he turns the corner, you're chasing one guy one way, one guy another way, and all of a sudden, it's in the end zone.
Now, we asked Casey about that, and he always jokes, hey, some thought it was a clip. It was not a clip. It was just a great block, and that was on Chad Jones, who's an All-American in both football and I think baseball as well, and just an incredible display not only from Casey.
Casey will tell you is a vicious block.
A vicious block that he's still thinking about, but an incredible moment as Arkansas was able to defeat LSU in 2007. I got asked this yesterday about my favorite. Again, we'll continue on this conversation because we've gotten a lot of texting calls on this, but I got asked what is my absolute favorite memory? And Tommy, that is a difficult question based on how many fun moments and fun games have been a part of this series, but we'll answer that coming up here on the Morning Rush. What's your favorite memory between Arkansas and LSU? Play, moment, significance, 877-377-6963.
I can tell you one thing for sure, your favorite food holiday is Thanksgiving.
Amen.
There's no question about that. And if you don't want to cook, or maybe your gathering is a little bit different this year because of COVID, make Gaston's part of your Thanksgiving holiday and maybe make it a new tradition. You know, Gaston's has been socially distancing for over 60 years now. So you can call Gaston's, get one of their private cottages, one of their private cabins, and you and your family can enjoy a full weekend at Gaston's, or just head there for a day trip and enjoy their all-day Thanksgiving buffet that's fully loaded with all your favorites. Of course, the carved roasted turkey. They'll have New York strip, ham, mashed potatoes, gravy, all the pies and desserts, and everything you can imagine for Thanksgiving will be there. Now, they'll have their spread out from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., but it's by reservation only. So you can call them at 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202 and make your reservation for Thanksgiving this year on Thanksgiving Day at Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Shop local, eat local, be local. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
you like paying rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2021. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of Chambers Bank, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and ESPN Arkansas.
Woo woo! Beat up sauce alert! 4 new sauces just hit the menu. Listen closely for the lineup. Player 1, pizza sauce. The game day decision of pizza versus wings is now easier than ever. Player 2, lemon pepper. Yep, that's right. Now it's a sauce too. Player 3, orange sauce. Served with a fortune cookie on the side. And lastly, coming in hot, Carolina Reaper. This sauce just moved up to captain, taking over as Beat Up's new blazing sauce. Locations in Little Rock, Fort Smith, Sherwood, Jonesboro, and Conway. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474, or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling. Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen, or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Give is to Alex Collins, straight up the middle, and Collins on the run. They won't catch him. Alex Collins is going to take it all the way to the house. Touchdown, Arkansas, 80 yards.
Video streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
The only thing that I watch on Facebook is the Morning Rush. That's it.
One of the more underrated games in this series is 2015, where Arkansas goes on the road and beats LSU. You had Tiger fans exiting the fourth quarter, and the Arkansas fans that made the trip were reveling in their memory. But what is your favorite memory? It's 877-377-6963.
Last time you beat them was was the game you're
2015.
referencing.
Yep.
Hey,
4 straight losses.
Brought to you by the all-new Wills RV in Northwest Arkansas. Get out and explore this fall with luxury brands you can depend on from Wills like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. It's all at Wills RV, 5 miles west of Exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wills RV.
Let's go to Texarkana and welcome in PA into the conversation. PA, what is your favorite Arkansas-LSU memory?
I just got through watching it again. It's the baseball game against LSU. We were behind 3-0 at Fayetteville on a Saturday night, and it was a nice day but a cool night. And first guy comes up and gets hit by the pitcher. I think it's Casey Coon, I think was his name. And then he steals second, and then the next guy comes up and gets a base hit to right field, scores him 3-1, LSU. Next guy comes up and hits a fly ball to right field. Nobody moves. It's 3-1 still. And then the guy on second base, the guy on first base. And then Tricocello comes up. I don't know if you remember him. Dominic. He hits a base hit to right field, and there's runners on first and third. And then the guy who's still in the majors, still producing, hit over 300 catching for Detroit, I think, comes up. The first pitch, he pulls it just left of the foul pole, which would have been the game winner. And then he fouls 2 off, and the guy hangs another curve. The top reliever, he hangs another curve, and McCann puts it out there. Well, past the pig pen, I promise you. He killed that ball. We walked off 4-3.
I think that's the one where didn't Chuck describe? He crushed it into the hog pen, I think is how Chuck described it.
Exactly.
He crushed it.
And PA, if you...
it was just, I don't know. We at the time, we didn't know how good James McCann was, but the guys turned out to be special. So, anyway, that's my favorite memory, guys.
Oh, PA, appreciate the call. And again, this is not just a football rivalry. You think about baseball, you think about Dale Brown and Nolan Richardson, Dave Van Horn, Paul Maneri. I mean, there's been a lot of competitive both baseball and basketball games as well. And PA, if you remember, they also walked it off in Game 3 where they had a fly ball to center, and I'm forgetting who scored, but they ended up winning that way as well. So 2 dramatic finishes in that 2011 series up at Baum Walker Stadium in Fayetteville.
Probably more. Well, I say more competitive in baseball. It's more meaningful on a national stage in baseball. But Arkansas is just LSU's had their number in the regular season series. Let's put it that way. So
that's putting it lightly. At one point, you had lost every series since 2000. 2011 was the last time you won, and they lost all the way up till I believe it was either their College World Series finals year or 2019. It was one of those 2 years. I think it was actually 2019.
Won some games, but not series.
Yeah, so they finally took it in 2019.
Even years where LSU is not at their best, not very good, where you were what you'd call a heavy favorite. Couldn't beat them.
Mm-hmm.
So not in a series.
So we brought up a bunch of good memories. We've talked about Miracle Markham, 2007 beating LSU, the Alex Collins run we talked about. Let's go to 2010, and let's go to the end of half where Kobe Hamilton takes it all the way to the house.
Either way, you're going to see Ryan Mount take a knee, I'm sure, here. Look at this. They're going to let Ryan Mount, he's going to take a shotgun snap. They're going to put one up.
Mallett in the pocket. Throws it up over the top. Right on the button. Watch out. It's a breakaway. Kobe Hamilton. 10-5. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. Steve Berline, you have to see it to believe it.
You see Patrick Peterson trying to chase Kobe Hamilton as he's getting closer close to the end zone. He just makes a cutback, and then he just kind of, once he gets in the zone, tosses the ball behind his head. One of the better plays that has ever occurred in War Memorial Stadium, and that just shows you the type of mentality that Bobby Petrino and company had. Even with a few seconds left on the clock, they were going for it all, and it paid off for them that day in 2010.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite ones that I was in person for was was 2010 because you knew you were going to get to pour some sugar on me. You knew that was what was at stake if you won that game. And it felt like you got over a hump because Arkansas so often fell short in games where something that meaningful was on the line. But you got it done, and it felt like it was, you joined the big boy club a little bit that day because you got into a BCS game. You knew what was at stake. So that was a satisfying day. That was probably one of the more satisfying wins we've had in the last 10 or so years.
And if I had to pinpoint a specific game, that would probably be my favorite Arkansas-LSU memory based on the significance of it that you're talking about. And I think when you look at that football game, that Arkansas was the 12th best team in the country, LSU was 5th, and like you talked about, you finally beat one of the big boys. So another game that didn't have the significance in terms of what it mattered as far as the national standings, but just the significance of getting out of a hole was 2014 and finally beating LSU.
Go back to October of 2012. They're going to run and get that boot. They're going across the field. That's theirs now.
This city's going to come unglued.
175 pounds molded in 24-karat gold. And doesn't it feel good? Well deserved for Arkansas. Go down to
now, were you in attendance for that game?
No.
Okay.
I did not go to that game.
So
I was obviously watching on TV.
So I was a sophomore, and I just remember the student section chanting, "Rush the field, rush the field," and they pulled a bunch of, not Service Master, but what's the not Land Shark, I'm thinking beers.
Landmark.
Landmark. They pulled a bunch of their staffers, and they just knew it was
Landmark security.
Yeah, they knew the inevitable facet of what was about to occur, and it did, and bunch of things got broken as the students and everyone else for that matter rushed onto the field. And while that game was not a national standings part, like it didn't have that implications, but it did mean a great deal for a number of different Razorback fans who had suffered through 17 straight losses and finally got a victory over their hated rival in LSU. But a bunch of great games over the years. There's even great moments and losses that we can get to coming up, but I'm excited for this weekend, and this is always going to be a really fun rivalry to talk about and to get after when it comes to Arkansas and LSU.
Hey, I want to tell you about our friends at Standard Materials Group. They have immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. So if you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction, you want to be home at night, you want to work with a great company that offers great pay, great benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply online, and you can do it today. Jobs.crh.com is where you should go. That's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group. They are an equal opportunity employer.
Coming up, we will get into your Hog update on the Morning Rush. We'll also talk to Kevin McPherson, his thoughts on the NBA draft, Mason Jones, Isaiah Joe, where they're going to land. I'm excited about it, as many of you are. All that's coming up, hour number 3 of the Morning Rush on the way.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
It sure is.
Perfect. I'm getting a head start on my list for Santa.
Well, we've got great year-end deals on Camry, Highlander, RAV4, Tacoma, and more at your participating Toyota dealer.
What else you got?
Let's see. There's also Corolla, Highlander, Tundra. Oh, and we have a great selection of hybrid vehicles. Camry Hybrid, Highlander Hybrid.
Perhaps I'm not making myself clear. What kind of toys you got? Video games, stuffed animals, sea monkeys, you know, the good stuff.
It's actually Toyotathon, not Toyotathon. We have great deals on vehicles, not toys. I'm sorry, sweetie.
Well, okay, then what can I get for $5?
Oh, well,
During Toyotathon, get $1,500 total bonus, or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Tacoma Special Edition for $199 a month for 24 months with $999 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and end 11/30/20.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and GMC Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get 0 for 84 months on the hottest selling Buick model, the Buick Encore, or 0 for 84 on the Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury and third row seating. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
This is Randy Magnus, mortgage loan manager with Arvest Bank in Fort Smith. Have you checked your mortgage rate lately? A lot of times people forget about their rate after their loan is closed. Your friends at Arvest Bank would love the opportunity to review your current loan. With Arvest's competitive rates, you might be able to lower your monthly payment, shorten the term of your loan, or both. Arvest services 99% of the loans that originate, so most of the time you can deal with any of our local branches for all your mortgage needs. Please give us a call at 479-573-1127 or download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for a Fort Smith loan officer. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your insurance agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when the bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Call Kohler and Green Insurance in Fort Smith, 484-9888, or in Van Buren, 474-9888, and online at kohlergreen.com.
You could win a year of free internet from Wave Rural Connect. Here's how it works. If you sign up and are contracted between October 1st and December 31st, 2020, you have a chance to win 1 year of internet based on the internet speed you signed up for. That's it. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online, waveruralconnect.com, to get details and sign up. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Frank Roll Furniture Super Black Friday Blowout Sale, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thanksgiving Day the 26th, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday the 27th, and 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Saturday the 28th. For example, Catnapper Reclining Sofa and Love's regular $22.50, on sale finance price $18.22, cash price $16.70. Store-wide sale. All furniture, bedroom furniture, and mattresses are on sale. 3 days only at Frank Roll Furniture Super Black Friday Sale. Best seats in the house.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button, give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. ESPN Arkansas weather.
Clear sky tonight. An overnight low will drop down into the upper 30s. We will be back to sunshine Wednesday, our high near 65. Wednesday night, mainly clear. An overnight low in the low to mid 40s. Thursday, sunny skies, are high in the upper 60s to low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by OG&E Weatherization Program for Arkansas customers with homes at least 10 years old. Call 1-800-272-9741 for details or log on to OGE.com.
You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light. Please drink responsibly.
Let it rest. I'm playing football for LSU. I'm preparing for Arkansas.
I'm preparing for the next game and the next game after that.
Now, Coach Miles, is that Arkansas? Is that next to Louisiana? You should know it's Arkansas.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush. Borderline erotic. With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Going to talk basketball with Kevin McPherson coming up in about 5 minutes, where he projects Mason Jones and Isaiah Joe to end up and what teams they end up to tonight. And also going to get into your Hogdale update coming up here on The Morning Rush.
Hey, unwind your day at 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Great place to meet friends. Great place to relax and unwind, beginning at 4 o'clock every weekday afternoon and on the weekends. It's also a great place to watch games on the weekend, and they're open early for some different hours when the Hogs play at different times. So check out their Facebook page. They always have some great specials during the games. Also a great music lineup. They do a great job with that. So it's a great place to meet either some work friends or a client at the end of the day for a nice conversation. The music's not overpowering to where you can't have an adult conversation with an adult beverage. They got top shelf wines and liquors, great cigar selection as well. So, and they got a great air filtration system that replaces the air in the lounge every 4 minutes. So you're going to be impressed with that as well. Check out their menu. Got the 906 wings, 4 different kinds of wings. They got flatbreads, sandwiches, great coffees, great desserts as well. So there's something for everyone on their food menu as well. You're going to like it. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. There's nothing else like it. Sample, indulge, and escape at 906 Garrison Avenue, downtown Fort Smith.
All right, time to get into your Hog update.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey. Oh,
yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on The Morning Rush.
Got some news from Tom Murphy yesterday of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. 2 staff members who are not on-field coaches and at least 1 player received a positive coronavirus test that was conducted on Sunday. So, Tom, when it comes to breaking news, Tom is one of the best in the business, and this is not the news that Arkansas fans want to hear leading up to the LSU game.
Yeah, you hope the contact tracing isn't so impactful and extensive that it pushes Arkansas maybe even to the brink of not having the required 56 players to put on your roster, to put on the field. So far, there's no indication of that, but that's been one of the issues the last few weeks with teams in the postponement of games is you got to have X number of offensive linemen, defensive linemen, quarterbacks, and 56 is the roster number. That's been the problem with teams like LSU, A&M, go down the list. So hopefully 3 tests doesn't hamper you with a contact tracing to where it becomes a major issue for your team. But you kind of knew when Sam Pittman was positive that it wasn't going to end there.
We don't talk women's soccer much on this program, but we got to give some credit to where credit is due. The number 1 seed in the SEC tournament, the Arkansas soccer team, and Kobe Hale's done a tremendous job there. And Tommy, they won again.
They beat Auburn in the conference tournament quarterfinals. Beat Auburn 4-3. They're ranked 6th nationally right now, 8-1 on the year. So they get the win over Auburn. They advance to the conference semifinals where they are going to take on either Missouri or South Carolina. So Arkansas's next game will be Thursday night. You can watch it on the SEC Network at 6 o'clock. They're down in Orange Beach. That's where they're having the SEC tournament. So Missouri or South Carolina Thursday night at 6 o'clock. Again, SEC Network. So best of luck to the Arkansas soccer team. Now 8-1 on the year, number 6 nationally, and as you said, the top seed in the SEC tournament.
The Arkansas Razorbacks have quite a number of players at the professional and the MLB level. And another one, Drew Smiley, has signed a one-year deal with the Atlanta Braves for $11 million. So cool to see a former Pro Hog get his name up there and get some money as well.
Yeah, always good. And, of course, the list of Pro Hogs in baseball is pretty lengthy. More than any other sport, and you'd expect it with the success that Dave Van Horn has had.
Yeah, you think about Keuchel, McCann, the list just seems it keeps going and going and going. You're hoping that Arkansas basketball can do the exact same thing eventually under Eric Musselman as far as that goes.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Kevin McPherson about that in just a moment. I want to remind you, hey, tomorrow morning we're going to be live. We're going to be on the road at World of Wireless. They're at the right at the light next door to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling, brand new location. They're celebrating 25 years in business. Ty and I will be there, so if you're near that area, we'd love for you to stop in tomorrow morning, say hello. We're going to have some great stuff to tell you about, some great stuff to give away, maybe some breakfast there for you in the morning with Ben and the crew. So stop in. We'll be telling you more about World of Wireless and celebrating their 25 years in business. You can get a Google Home Hub for free when you sign up for Dish right now, a $100 Visa gift card as well, so $200 in free gifts for making the move to Dish. We'll be telling you more about that tomorrow morning. So if you're out and about and you're near World of Wireless, stop in, say hello tomorrow morning. We'll be live with the Morning Rush tomorrow morning at World of Wireless.
Let's welcome in Kevin McPherson in the conversation. Covers Arkansas basketball for Pig Trail Nation Hogville. Kevin, good morning. I want to start with the Philadelphia 76ers, and there's been some comments made by Kendrick Perkins, former Boston Celtic. He was a part of the Oklahoma City Thunder and some other basketball teams. He is very high on Mr. Mason Jones and is urging the 76ers to select him with the 21st pick in the first round. What are your thoughts on Mason Jones potentially ending up on Daryl Morey's new team?
Wow. I mean, first of all, to land in the first round, who would have ever dreamed Mason Jones coming out of Connor State JUCO a couple of years ago would be, finding his way into the first round of the NBA draft that quickly, if ever. He had one more season of eligibility. Look, Mason Jones is a guy that has continued to raise the bar on expectations. He's bet on himself. He believes in himself. The whole Breakfast Club last year in year one of Eric Musselman, the transformation with his body, doing what he did in the SEC, that was a once-in-a-generation kind of season. When you look at 9 30-point games, a couple of 40-plus, leading scoring, leading the nation in free throws attempted, transition. I mean, here's a guy that, really Arkansas's had some great players, but his co-SEC Player of the Year came with being the first Razorback ever to lead the league in scoring. And then he had a really big combine workout just a couple of weeks ago where he put up some of the best numbers when they compared combine numbers. Was done a little differently this year. Obviously, they didn't bring everybody to one place. People did it at various NBA city sites as part of that pandemic response. But I think Mason Jones is a guy that's been really mostly in the conversation, guys, for middle second round, maybe early second round, maybe late second round, first round. That means there's a team that believes, and Philadelphia's got pieces. We know that. We know what they've got. We'll see what they do to rebuild. But Mason Jones is a guy that's an alpha. And I know there are NBA teams, and I talk to scouts who tell me we love guys who believe in themselves and have that little cocky edge. That's Mason Jones.
And I think what's interesting about the Philadelphia 76ers is not only has Mason Jones been linked to that organization, but also Isaiah Joe. One of the rumors circling within an NBA draft circles is that the 76ers have told him they're going to try and get him in the 21st pick or the 34th pick. So I'm wondering, from your perspective, you mentioned some of the pieces that Philadelphia has, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons. Who do you think is a better fit for Philly? Is it Mason Jones or is it Isaiah Joe?
That's a great question. I think it's Isaiah Joe, and the only reason I say that is Ben Simmons is a ball-dominant guy, but he's not a shooter. Joel Embiid is a big man that is a more traditional. Now, he'll step out and knock some mid-range. They need a safety valve. They need a guy that when Ben Simmons drives, he can kick. If he can't finish or get it to Joel, someone that can just set up and get into a three-shot. Plus, Isaiah Joe is a better defender. He's more of that 3-and-D type of prototypical present and future NBA guy. No knock on Mason Jones. Some things are better fits. Now, that's not to say if the Sixers went and got Mason Jones that he wouldn't work out there. I just think when I look at the pieces, when you look at the two, basically the star power they already have, a guy like Isaiah Joe makes sense to me. You know, you think about teams like Houston and Golden State and some of the other ones where they've got playing 5 out and really spacing the floor and getting a lot of threes up. He's a guy that really, when you think about no matter how teams get it done, Philadelphia, again, less perimeter, but maybe trying to get some pieces to help them have that strike ability from deep range. A guy like Isaiah Joe fits anywhere in this league, and I think Mason Jones is a guy that's going to surprise people. I really do. If he ends up being a middle to late second-round pick, I think eventually we're going to look at him as a guy that maybe should have gone in that first round if he doesn't.
Kevin, how much gamesmanship goes on with the NBA draft compared to like the NFL draft, where GMs and coaches and owners will say one thing when they don't really mean it because they want to throw other teams kind of off the trail a little bit? Does that go on much with the NBA, or we see that because we follow maybe the NFL draft a little bit more? Give us some insight on how the NBA really kind of goes about the business of the draft when it comes to the gamesmanship side of it.
Yeah, that's part of it. The other thing is there's gamesmanship, but there's also 5, 6, 7, 8 guys that teams are talking to saying, hey, we've got these picks and we like you for this spot. Well, they don't just like one guy. They like multiple guys. And the reason that is because things change in the draft. Teams trade, draft positions change for a team that maybe is not trading because someone traded ahead of them, and now there's a different order of things. And so I don't know, that part is not as much gamesmanship as it is on the, it's at the obviously the benefit of the player and his representation to understand that those things are going to happen. So they might feel comfortable. They might feel like a team really likes them, but things can change. So there's gamesmanship, but there's also so many moving pieces. And guys fall on draft boards, or guys fall in the draft when it actually gets here. And now things change for teams that you thought loaded up and were going to get you. So you got to understand it's advantageous. Obviously, if you can be a lottery pick, sure, those things are they're not completely static, but they're pretty well known. And once you get outside of that and start moving down to that late first round, sometimes early second round picks are just, some of those are viewed because of the guaranteed money to be better than a late first round pick, because you don't lose that much money, but you have a lot more negotiating power at the end of the guaranteed part of the contract. And so there's even cases where guys go undrafted and it ends up working out better for them than maybe had they been drafted. So everybody wants to get drafted, but there's so many things going on. But the gamesmanship part, of course that happens. I know that there are teams that are telling people, don't tell anybody but they want it to kind of get out. They get it through their local media. Mm-hmm. They'll pump local media to talk about a guy and say that this might be a guy that someone's interested in. They want that out there. So there is gamesmanship, a little show and tell, a little okey doke that goes on in all professional sports.
How deep is a team's board when you look at just a 2-round draft, and a team may have a third pick or something due to a trade, but you don't have the number of picks you would have certainly in baseball or even in football with 7 rounds. I mean, how deep are you prepared to evaluate and be ready to go through your draft selections when you know you're only going to have, in theory, say 2 picks?
That's a great question. It's probably different for every team, but we use the example of Philadelphia with the 21, 34, and 36. Let's just say that those are the only 3 picks. Now they've got all kinds of considerations with trades and things that could help them improve what they want to do. But for each of those spots, I've got to think that they're looking at players that could be 5 to 7 picks sooner than their pick, but could fall, and maybe 5 or 7 in the range at their pick or later. So probably per pick, the neighborhood of 8 to 10 players that might be available to them per pick. Well, when you're at 34 and 36, that's probably the same 8 to 10 guys. But I think there's a lot that goes into it. And, of course, they'll have a board for at least 50 players overall. But when they try to drill it down for specifics, I think you still have to look at a lot of guys, interview a lot of guys, because you don't it's already a guessing game once you get past certain guys. I mean, this year there's not a Zion Williamson in the draft. And even he had some question marks and still does because of injuries. I'm just saying I think that there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot of players on those boards. Even when they try to get close to draft day, there's still a lot to consider.
Yeah, James Wiseman, Anthony Edwards, Obi Toppin. You're really curious to see who goes number 1 overall tonight. Kevin McPherson with us on the Morning Rush. Kevin, let's talk about this Arkansas basketball team. Next week, first game, 7 days out. I wonder your opinion. I've been asked several times by different listeners, hey, Ty, what do you think the starting roster is going to be? What do you think the starting roster is going to be? And the only one that I'm really solidified on is that Moses Moody is going to start. If you had to pick out your starting 5 right now, Kevin, who would those 5 be?
Wow, I'm going to give you my starting 5. Well, it's Justin Smith and Moses Moody. I've got those guys entrenched in that 5. They'll have to do something to prove me wrong, but those guys are, to me, are day one, everyday starters. And from there, I'm really looking at I'm going to throw maybe a curveball or 2 in here. I'm going to put Desi Sills. This isn't a curveball. I'm going to put him in the starting lineup. He's a guy I think that can play that 6-man role, but I'm going to start the season out with him. So I think that's, so that's 3 for me. And then I'm going to do an or thing. Jalen Tate, I think, is the guy that's going to start. For me, it might be KK Robinson. So either one of those guys, probably going to see Jalen Tate, the senior grad transfer from Northern Kentucky. He had a good red-white game, by the way, as did KK. And then at the next spot, and I'm going to call it the 5 spot, you could go, we'll probably see Vance Jackson Jr. on opening night. But for me, it's Jalen Williams. So, I've got 3 freshmen in my starting lineup effectively: KK Robinson, Moses Moody, Jalen Williams, along with Justin Smith and Desi Sills.
Okay, that's interesting. And I wonder, I was curious with the freshmen coming in who would play, who would not. And I know Connor Vanover's dealt with some injury concerns and stuff. But to me, KK Robinson, watching him play against collegiate competition, I know it's just a red-white game, but Kevin, that guy can jump out of the gym and he gets after you defensively. I think of all the guys we were looking to, he might be the one that has the most to gain out of the freshman season, that I think most people will be surprised by watching this upcoming college basketball season.
Yeah, the first time I saw KK play was in person for he was a 9th grader. It was a senior, a varsity game, and it was his first game of the season. So his first game as a varsity basketball player in high school. About 2 or 3 trips up and down the floor to start that game. I thought, this guy's about 5'10", 5'11" right now. I said, that's a high major player. He will be a high major. I knew it. He just plays the game the right way. He has talent. He's got burst. I've never seen a guard do so many things defensively that he can do. And over time, he's really improved his shooting and his ability to understand when to get off the ball, how to set other guys up, and how to go get his own, and when to go get his own. I like him a lot. I love his potential down the line. Is he ready to be a starter right now? I don't know, but I think there's so many unknowns. Why not? I'd plug him in there. I think it's going to be Jalen Tate. But we're pretending like this is my roster, so I've got KK Robinson starting on day one.
All right, let me get you out of here on this one. Depth. We know that Muss likes to run a pretty tight rotation off the bench, very small, 2-3 players, 8-9 at the most. With COVID this year and knowing that contact tracing or positive tests could take out 2, 3, 4 your guys in a phone call,
yeah.
Do you try to play as many as possible, maybe play them all, even your walk-ons? How would you approach that if you're Eric Musselman?
Well, I think he's tried a lot of combinations throughout preseason, going back to when they had formal stuff starting in July. Obviously, you've got a weaker non-conference schedule. It worked out that way because of COVID. They had to scramble, and they're not playing that many tough games, and most of them are at home. I think you work with combinations. Now, I'm not going to tell Eric Musselman what to do. Here's a proven coach, but I'm going to try a lot of different things in games, especially if I'm, comfortable in a lead. I'm going to work on some different things, but I think they're going to need up to 10 guys this year, maybe 11. There are 11 that are healthy enough to play on scholarship. We may see the need to use all those guys, so I'm working them in as much as I can to get them ready.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a guy coming in his first action being a conference game because of contact tracing, taking 3 or 4 guys out, and the first action someone sees is, against LSU or against Tennessee or somewhere. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting year for everyone, including Arkansas, in that regard.
There's no doubt about it. And, Arkansas, we keep saying all the newcomers, 9 of the 11 that are healthy enough to play on scholarship are newcomers. But, take that with a grain of salt. You got a lot of veterans from the college game that have played elsewhere. They do have to come together and play together. A red-white game is nice. You'd like to have the 2 exhibition games probably this year more than ever if you could. They just don't have that. So they're going to have to use this non-conference as testing ground, I think. Now, we'll see what Musselman does. He likes his rotations, and he may say, I know what it is, and I'm sticking with it, and guys will get peripheral minutes, and we'll just roll the dice on that. But I think it would be wise to try to give many guys as many minutes as you can in this non-conference.
Kevin, just to reiterate, you said Justin Smith, Moses Moody, Desi Sills, K.K. Robinson, and Jalen Williams if you had to pick your starting five, right?
That's it. That's who I'm rolling with. I've got J.D. Note coming off the bench as my sniper. You know, that guy can give you offense fast. We'll see what he does on the defensive end. And then, you know, I like Vance Jackson Jr. too. I mean, it's also based on matchups. I could rotate him in that 5. Connor Vanover's missed a lot of time, but he's going to play. He's going to get minutes. He's going to help Arkansas. And I also love Devontae Davis. He's a big guard that gets rebounds. When he gets a defensive rebound, he turns and throws the ball ahead. He's an opportunistic defender. I mean, he can be a plus defender on the ball, but I see him sneaking in for steals. He's a slasher. He's a guy that down the road is going to be a very good college player for the Razorbacks.
Kevin McPherson, you can follow him on Twitter at ARHoopScoop. Kevin, we appreciate your time this morning. Enjoy the NBA draft tonight, and hopefully we see Isaiah and Mason's name get called early.
Yeah, I look forward to that. If they do, it'll be the first time since the 90s Arkansas has had multiple players selected in one draft.
How about that? So, Kevin, appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Good stuff from Kevin McPherson.
One of the best, one of our favorite guests, Kevin McPherson, with us here on the Morning Rush. Hey, have you checked your mortgage rate lately? A lot of times people forget about their rate once the loan is closed. Your friends at Arvest Bank would love the opportunity to review your current loan. Arvest has competitive rates. You might be able to lower your monthly payment, shorten the term on your loan, or do some of both. And Arvest services 99% of the loans that they originate. So most of the time, you can deal with someone right in your local Arvest branch that can handle all of your mortgage needs. Call Randy at 573-1127. That's 479-573-1127. Or download the Home For Me app to your mobile device. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Coming up, we'll get into more Arkansas-LSU.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from Tuning.
This is Austin Allen, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier basketball line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies, Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
Tommy Craft for the Fenceman. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fenceman. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fenceman. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work.
Come see what's new at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. In stock now, irons from TaylorMade, Mizuno, along with new woods and irons from Callaway. Also in stock, the RTX Zip Core wedges and Spider putters. The Golf Nut carries a great line of shoes, apparel, and accessories for your everyday golfing needs. As always, check Facebook for our daily specials. Work on your game in our indoor simulation base, or play a round of golf on great courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more, including included with any new vehicle sold. Or Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
Miss Anna's on Towson is quickly becoming one of Fort Smith's favorite haunts. We're now serving breakfast from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Blue Plate specials served Monday through Friday. And don't forget about 99-cent Pie Tuesday. So whether you're craving some of our great kickin' chicken or one of our world-famous desserts, Miss Anna's is the place to be. 5001 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, 649-6300. That's 649-6300.
Are your real estate investments being properly managed? Are you sending a check or cashing a check each month? If you're tired of your current property managers, then call Trinity Multifamily. Trinity will qualify your tenants and leases, inspect your properties, and take care of maintenance and provide you with web-based access to current financial reports, leases, and pictures of your property. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Going to give it to Boyd. I'm sorry. Rakeem inside the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Rakeem Boyd from 12 yards out, and the Razorbacks pull a little bit closer.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Kraft ESPN.
A lot of significance surrounding this LSU-Arkansas game this weekend. And if you haven't heard the news, Tom Murphy reported that Arkansas is dealing with some COVID stuff right now. We will get into that conversation coming up here on the Morning Rush because it is important as the line has shifted from this game. Arkansas opened as 3-point favorites. It's now been shifted at 2.5, and this is a conversation that we will table for just 1 sec as we welcome in Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources. Larry, happy Wednesday, man.
Hey, happy Wednesday, guys. Hope you're having a good one. Listen, it's a good time over here at Rath Auto Resources. We're making it easy for folks to get their nicer, newer car. Matter of fact, we're making it easy as pie. Folks, we're doing that with a great selection of premium pre-owned vehicles. Everyone handpicked, run through our Meineke Car Care Center. You want to look for that Rath Road Ready sticker. You know you're getting the finest premium pre-owned vehicle you're going to find anywhere, only available at Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Then we do it with non-commissioned solution specialists. So you hear us talk about that all the time, and Lord knows it's hard enough to say that on the radio. If we didn't believe in it, we wouldn't put ourselves through this. Folks, it makes a big difference when you have that non-commissioned solution specialist. That guy's there to help you find exactly the right car, make sure you're happy with the price and the payment, and get you driving home happy in your nicer, newer car from Rath Auto Resources. finally, our secret weapon, the Meineke Car Care Center. Folks, nobody can duplicate the service that we're offering in our Meineke Car Care Center. And you don't have to have bought your car from us. We can take care of you, folks. $24.95 basic oil change every day. Buy 3, get 1 free on tires. Half off brakes right now. And you can call ahead and set up your free winter-ready inspection right now in the Meineke Car Care Center. So lots of good things going on. The new Mitsubishis, they just announced a big holiday sale going on, an additional $500 to help save you some money on top of incentives as high as $3,000 and rates as low as 0% for 72 months. So get yourself a new Mitsubishi up here in Springdale. Folks, come and see us. We're going to get you driving better at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, or check out one of the Meineke Car Care Centers at either location, or go online, rathauto.com.
All right, that's Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith, and in Springdale. Larry, have a great Wednesday. We'll chat again on Friday.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. Folks, come and see it.
While the news about what's going on with COVID at the U of A is not great, what is great is Sam Pittman is back as of today.
I feel really good, and I'll be back in the office on Wednesday, and I sure appreciate everybody. Old Daddy told me a long time ago, the world don't rotate around my butt, but it sure felt like it with all the well wishes and all those things, and I sure do appreciate it.
So he's missed being around his staff and his players, and it's good to have the head football coach back for the University of Arkansas this Saturday as they take on the LSU Tigers. But it is a little worrisome, like Sam not being allowed to coach this past week, that you're also dealing with more COVID news concerning this football team heading into LSU.
Yeah, now, he walks right back into issues that he has to deal with, and I'm sure this isn't something that's going to blindside him. He's obviously known about this since the news came out, to the team internally when they got the positive results back. So now he's got to deal with what's the effect of it and how does it affect the team. So he's got to adjust the game plans, and we don't really know. That's the thing and we may not know. If I'm him, I'm not telling this in any press conference or issuing a release, or I'm not giving any. I mean, why would you? Why would you give any information away? No, teams pretty much have not done that. So other than like a Trevor Lawrence missing, that really hasn't been much of a release of information by teams. So I don't expect Sam Pittman or anyone to come out and say, well, we're going to be missing these players or contact tracing. Unless Arkansas is going to have to miss the game, that ain't going to happen. So.
And I made the point earlier, there's a little bit, there's still a drop-off between Trevor Lawrence and DJ Ugalali, or however you say his name, but I think there would be more of a drop-off if Felipe Franks wasn't able to participate in this Saturday's game than KJ Jefferson. And
their drop from 1 to 2 is
a lot different than going from 5-star to 5-star to me.
I wouldn't argue with you on that.
I don't think a lot of people would, as far as that concerned. Hopefully, won't have to deal with that. But it not only is Arkansas dealing with issues, but also LSU. Terrace Marshall, their star wide receiver, they pulled together a players-only meeting trying to refocus this team. We'll see if that ends up happening as of Saturday.
All right, so if you're looking for a place to watch the game Saturday, head over to Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street. They're going to be open a little bit early so you can get your seat at or near the bar. They got TVs all around the restaurant. Dollar Tacos. And we're going to be doing it this Saturday. We're going to be over there next Saturday, too. You guys going to do this? The Dollar Tacos for the Missouri game, it's 11-2. Y'all kind of got after each other about who could eat more tacos.
There wasn't anything to get after about.
All right.
It's a matter of fact, I will beat Ty in a taco eating contest.
All right, so I think we're going to have a taco eating contest during halftime of the Missouri game a couple days after Thanksgiving. So we'll be ready for tacos following turkey. So you can have all the, maybe I'll go over there and pregame or do some preseason work, so to speak, this week for the for the LSU game. So
are you going to wear the big sexy what you're sporting right now?
Yeah.
Either that or my Cowboys jersey.
So
okay.
Dollar Taco Saturday, half price apps and taps during the game, and that's their special tonight after 5 o'clock at Joe's Grill and Cantina. So we'll find out next Saturday who can eat the most tacos during halftime between these two yahoos, and you can find out how many you can eat during the game this week or next week at Joe's. Every Saturday they do Dollar Tacos. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps.
That means I have to eat an even abnormal more amount come Thursday because I need to make sure my stomach is expanded for Taco Saturday as best I can. So I'm
That's
excited.
how the human body works.
My roommate and co-host of Fantasy Football Sunday, Evan Gentry, has already marked his ticket that he says, yeah, I'm going to definitely come watch this. So if you want to attend again.
We'll have to set some rules, some ground rules at some point.
Yeah, so I'm excited about this.
Catered towards me, though.
You said it didn't matter what the rules were. You were going to win no matter what.
That's a good point.
That's exactly what you said.
You've been pretty open and clear about that. So, all right, coming up, it is a What's Your Beef Wednesday here on the Morning Rush. What is your beef this Wednesday? 877-377-6963.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is former Arkansas Razorback JJ Meadows, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Frankfurt Furniture Super Black Friday Blowout Sale. 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thanksgiving Day. 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday the 27th. And 6:30 to 5:30 p.m. Saturday the 28th. For example, Catnapper Reclining Sofa and Love, regular $22.50, on sale, finance price $18.22, cash price $16.70. Store-wide sale. All furniture, bedroom furniture, and mattresses on sale. 3 days only at Frankfurt Furniture. Super Black Friday sale. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today. 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Need a little something to get you through hump day? Swing by Sody's and save 10% on all regular priced wine, cheese, and boar's head meats today. That's right, it's Wine and Cheese Wednesday at Sody's. Experience different at Sody's Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sody's.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Do you like paying rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year, up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2021. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14th. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of Chambers Bank, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and ESPN Arkansas.
Randall Ford is excited to announce their state-of-the-art mobile service van, stocked with all the latest tools and technology needed to service your vehicle. Everything from oil changes, warranty repair, battery, software updates, brake jobs, and so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety in mind. We'll come to your office or home to provide professional service the Randall Ford way. Stop by today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or check us out online 24/7, randallford.com. Ford, the #1 selling brand in America.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Jefferson going to keep the football. You called it, left side, inside the 5. Jefferson to the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas. 12 yards for KJ.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
What's Your Beef Wednesday coming up here on the Morning Rush. We're going to go out to Tulsa and welcome in Nema in just one sec. Before we do that, I want to tell you about our friends at Kevin Hickey Law.
Yeah, if you're building a home, that's never an easy time. It's always stressful, whether you're the homeowner or you're the contractor. Changes in plans, subcontractors not showing up on time, non-payment. All of these are issues that cause homeowners and contractors to be at odds, and this can oftentimes result in a lawsuit. So if you're a homeowner or a contractor and you find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners. They have experience representing homeowners and contractors. You can call Brad Hall or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley. They have a Northwest Arkansas office as well, 479-802-6560. Now, both of those phone numbers and a lot more about Brad and Kevin are online. New website address, so check it out, artriallawyers.com. That's artriallawyers.com for the Kevin Hickey Law Partners.
Going to Tulsa, welcoming in Nema to the conversation. Nema, you're on the Morning Rush. Wanted to talk Arkansas-LSU.
Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Wednesday morning. How y'all doing?
Man, we're good, man. It's a couple days from game day. I'm excited.
A couple days. Just want to let y'all know I stumbled upon y'all's show a couple weeks ago, and it's a fantastic show. I've listened to it every day since, and just keep up the good work. Y'all are awesome. I think y'all's breakdown of the Razorbacks is far better than any other sports radio show in Arkansas.
That's kind of you to say. Thank you.
Yeah, man, that's my beef for this Wednesday is with the competitive advantage of the SEC. And I'm sure you guys have touched upon this before. But, LSU is getting 21 days off to prepare. While we've gotten our heads smashed in by 3 straight SEC teams with, A&M, Tennessee, and Florida. And, if this was LSU or Alabama, and Alabama had 3 weeks off to prepare for LSU or vice versa, man, they'd be up in arms. But I just feel like the SEC's competitive advantage towards lower tier teams, they don't really care. Arkansas, go play your game. We don't care if LSU's got 3 weeks to prepare. This is like going to the NBA finals, and you've gone off 3 straight game 7. And then the other teams, got 4 straight sweeps, and they're just sitting there 2 weeks waiting on you. After two possessions, our guys are going to get tired. After 2 possessions, I know you can say, we're in a groove, yada, yada, the offense is clicking. After 2 possessions, LSU is going to find their groove. And after a couple possessions, they're going to get back into football shape. And they're going to, those 3 weeks of being off and healing is going to have an advantage, a competitive advantage over our guys that are battered and bruised and, with Grant Morgan's arm hanging off the side. So, man, I'll hang up and listen, and y'all keep up the great work.
Hang on, Nima. What would – well, Nima's gone. I was going to ask him what his suggestion would be. I mean, obviously LSU had a bye week in front of the Alabama game, and then the Alabama-LSU game postponed for COVID reasons. I hear what Nima's saying as far as the competitive edge, but I don't know what remedy the league could find in this situation. Yeah, you don't like the fact that you got 21 days. The last time LSU played, the last time Alabama played was Halloween night. Alabama plays Kentucky this week, so if you're looking at it from a Kentucky standpoint, they probably don't want to play Alabama on 21 days rest either. But I don't really know what the remedy would be for the league when you already had a built-in bye week, and then COVID postponed the game. What other solution would be suggestible here? What could you do if you're the league? You're out of a lot of options.
Nima, I would say I bang the gavel with you in almost every other occurrence when it comes to Arkansas getting screwed over by the SEC. But like Tommy said, this is not the case. I mean, LSU was set to play Alabama. The game got canceled, and they moved on to Arkansas as of either Tuesday or Wednesday this past week. So that's one of those things where it wasn't a competitive advantage that the SEC just gave LSU.
Built in. Yeah.
Wasn't built in. It was just happened. But the schedule, I'll be with you there. Some of the officiating over the years, I'll be with you there. But this particular instance, there's not. The SEC is not helping out LSU to beat Arkansas. I promise that's not the case. I promise. So typically I'm with you, man, just not in this particular case. All right, we're going to get into What's Your Beef Wednesday coming up here on the Morning Rush. But as we are entering this part of the show, I want to tell you about our friends at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. Now, I had it not this past weekend, but the weekend before, and it was fantastic as always. Now, Tommy, you got something a little different last time you went.
I mean, it doesn't take long to try everything on the menu. Now, you got different combinations you can try at CJ's, but one thing down bottom left corner of the menu is the salads. You think they have salads at CJ's? They do. They have a cheeseburger salad, and they have a chicken salad you can try. So I tried the cheeseburger salad the other day just to try something else on the menu. And it was really good. They have a salad, then they take the hamburger patty, put on there. You choose the cheese. I got the mushrooms thrown in there. You can get the onions, any of the toppings that are on the burger. Plus, they threw in some tomatoes, some other things you might want in there. And it was a really good salad. So if you're trying to eat low carb or you're just trying to just try something different at CJ's, I would highly suggest salad. Now, I know you go to CJ's for a burger. And I certainly wouldn't downplay that. And I missed having the fries. But if, you always talk about eating healthy during the week. If you want to stay the straight and narrow, here's an option for you to still go to CJ's and kind of still walk the line a little bit.
I will be getting a double fries and a caramel milkshake this weekend, and I am ecstatic about that. I'll be going to the Fayetteville location on Weddington, and they also have the Russellville location, Arkansas Avenue, exit 81. The Fayetteville location, drive-through, curbside, pickup, and then also on DoorDash, and then the Russellville location you can dine in and pick up, and at the Fayetteville location you can dine in as well. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best, and that's a great segue for What's Your Beef Wednesday.
What is wrong with you?
I want to complain.
I'm complaining.
I want to complain about
complaining.
I want to complain.
It really pisses me off today.
To simply listen to people whine and complain.
I'm angry. I'm spitting angry. I'm like a tornado of anger, swirling about. My heart rate is dangerously high right now.
I'm complaining because not enough people tickle, hug, or smile.
I'm so mad I could eat ball bearings and crap BBs.
It's time for What's Your Beef Wednesday.
So I asked Tommy before we came on this segment, because I know that this is a notorious radio caller, but I didn't know if he'd ever called in the Morning Rush. Tiger Bait, you said, is called in one time.
He's called once, maybe twice, but no, he's never been a regular caller. Michael in Stuttgart, another notorious caller, used to call, and he got sideways with us and has not called back in over a year.
I wonder if he's still trying to defend Chad Morris. That was his...
So, he got butthurt about something. He's welcome to, Michael, if you're listening, and you probably are, you're welcome to call. So no, it's Tiger Bait. Really hadn't been a regular on any show that I've listened to since Mattingly left here.
Yeah, so he was a part of Bo's show. Listened to him in Little Rock when I was growing up a little bit. And for those who don't know who that is, it's a guy that is a big-time LSU fan, and he calls into Arkansas radio shows and gives his opinion, likes to trash on the Razorbacks. But you haven't heard a lot of chirping from him this year
Radio
about
silence.
Arkansas. I hadn't said anything. So I guess my beef is that he has not called into a program on Arkansas Sports Radio, to my knowledge, this week, because he loved prior to the Arkansas-LSU game to do that, even when LSU was favored and ended up losing. And that's my beef today, that we've still not heard from him, because he's still got his ear to the floor when it comes to Arkansas Sports Radio, and he listens to that. But it's irritating to me that he's yet to call in, because I would love to hear from him and hear his take. And I know Arkansas fans would love to rile him up a little bit, especially if they were able to get the win on Saturday.
Yeah, if you're going to chirp when you're good, you need to be here to take it when things are a little bit rougher.
Haven't heard much Arkansas State conversation that they should play the Razorbacks this year either. Funny how that works, but that's definitely my beef, is Tiger Bates' unwillingness to voice his opinions on Arkansas Sports Radio, not just this week, but this year, because LSU is not that good.
October 1991 is when I fell in love with the radio business. It's when I didn't know her then. She wasn't as fortunate to meet me till about 11 years later, but or maybe I was the fortunate.
Yeah,
one. I think that was probably
let's flip the script. You were the fortunate one.
So October 91 was the first time I got to be behind the power of a microphone and be on the radio. But one of the first things I was taught by the late, great Glenn O'Neill, one of my early mentors in this business, is, and we were doing a high school broadcast, you never criticize high school players, you don't coach, and you don't officiate. And I've got real beef with the way Moss and the Come On Man went after Fayetteville High School, their quarterback, their program this week. I mean, again, I don't think the lesson that I learned 29 years ago is any different today at any level. There's plenty of things out there for a segment like Come On Man on a national level that you don't have to come in, go down. And I don't care that it's just in Arkansas. High school programs do a lot of great things. Praise them. These are kids, and these are not adults. These are kids that are still growing and developing. And I think it was a low blow. I think it was a cheap shot, and I just think that's out of bounds to me. You should never, ever, on a national platform or any platform, go after a high school athlete, a high school program in a negative light like that. And that's my beef this morning.
Because I got asked by several different Fayetteville Bulldog alums this week if we had talked about that play, and I said I didn't want to bring it up because, like you mentioned, I think college level is where you can start being critical of young men and young women when it comes to what they do on a field, on a court, whatever. But I try to make good light of certain parts of what they do. But when it comes to bad or mess ups, and I know that's going to live with him the rest of his life, I think it's smart not to single it out when they're that young, 16, 17
Monday
years
Night
old.
Football particularly is no place for that. And really any media forum, I think the criticizing of someone of that age, come on, man. I mean, come on, man. I think that is out of bounds for me.
And go back to last year.
And again, if this had happened in California or Florida, I'd feel the same way. I mean, the fact that it happened in our state, it's unfortunate. And I feel for Casey Dick, the head coach at Fayetteville. I feel for that kid that was the quarterback of the team. And I'm not going to point. I mean, it's just a very unfortunate situation. He'll grow and be a better person from that. You know, we saw with Clint Sterner in the mistake that keeps getting pointed out in 1998 in the Sternover over and over, but he's a stronger man for it. This is, but to highlight that on Monday Night Football, come on, man, y'all are better than that at ESPN.
Not ideal. So as we round out the show here on the Morning Rush, Gary in Arkadelphia texts in. He says Tiger Bait, the reason he's not calling is because he's probably in jail. Go Hogs.
That's a great point, Gary.
Great point,
Didn't consider that angle.
All right, Recruiting Thursday coming up tomorrow. Richard Davenport will join us at 8:05. Tommy Kraft, Matt Jenkins. I'm Ty Richardson. Don't spend the rest of Wednesday sitting on your hands. We will talk to you tomorrow morning.